Nice.
All right, team. Then with that out of the way, let's do the recap really quick. What happened last time on episode 1 of Songs Run Long? And then once that's done, you can tell me as much as you cared about, whatever you think is important. Maybe none of it's important. That'd be really awkward. Don't make it like that. But tell me all the things that happened that you thought were important, and then we will dive on into session. Not everyone at once.
We got to ride a unicorn. A magical unicorn.
That's right. There was a magical unicorn, the pocket unicorn. Or the pocket Pegasus, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
What else have we
Nicole? Wasn't it Nicole?
Oh, the Pegasus.
Yeah, it had a name. Yeah.
Oh, it was Naomi.
Naomi, thank you.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Our resident scribe knows.
Speaking of resident scribe, we spotted some people around this building before we came out and did the festival stuff, like gearing up and stuff. They looked very serious during the mayoral speech. I think your character, Hannah, had succeeded on that perception check. Do you remember that? You know what I'm talking about? Or am I in...
Right before your speech or during?
It was like during the speech, wasn't it? I mean, I guess Pete would know.
Hold on.
It's like a successful perception check going on there.
That's right. This is what you call an active real-time history check. This is how it works.
It seemed like
there was a cloaked figure, and they were next to a devilkin, and they were talking about something that I couldn't tell what they were talking about, but it looks weird.
Okay.
All right, team. What else happened? We had a check. We revealed some cloaked figures, other sorts of things. We've got this lovely pocket Pegasus that had been present on the stage. What else have we got, team?
We watched a speech, and we all thought it went well until the roll came out, and then we realized it did not go well. And someone may owe me money, so I feel like I'm owed money at some point, and I will not.
Right.
What? I didn't hear that last part. I'm so sorry.
Have it written down right here.
Fuck.
Absolutely true. We witnessed a speech. Anything else you want to add, team?
We also witnessed a mass murder, perhaps?
There was a mean lady.
Many people have perished.
A musical murder, in a way.
Anything else you want to add in? By the way, for those of you who are new to this experience, I will continue asking you until there's nothing, right? So like, you just let me know when you're done with details, because I'm telling the story as the DM, yes, but we collaboratively are remembering it and recalling it.
There was a crazy elven lady who tackled our boys, and I stole stuff from her. The flute and a random potion. And I don't know what the potion is.
Hey, remember how you guys almost all died? Remember that?
Yeah, fire rug. Ooh, bad.
Yeah, look, your fire's still here. It's still burning and popping and sizzling the drow corpse inside of the room.
Gurak's minion is gone.
I'm going to use thaumaturgy to put the fires out as soon as we officially get things underway, but I'll let the DM know he's ready to do that.
What did you say just now? I'm sorry, I was distracted by Gurak's mini mysteriously being gone.
I said I'm going to use thaumaturgy to put the fires out as soon as we start.
Ah, very well. So, Gurak...
I want to say
spelled
he's
your name with a G, right?
Correct. G-U-R.
So hear me out, right? Hear me out. Oh, no, just kidding. You are here. You exist.
Oh, I forget. We also found a hobgoblin, or ran into one at the end of the session. Yeah. Looking at the map, I ran into the hobgoblin.
That is absolutely correct.
Yeah. Sorry if he's going to attack us, guys.
Anything else we'd like to recall?
I fell downstairs purposely. I do remember that.
That's right. You you failed to purposely fall downstairs.
Yes.
Is what happened there.
Uh-huh.
Which ironically led more attention to you than if you actually did fall downstairs.
It's exactly what we were trying to do by failing at trying to do it.
Yeah, maybe I wanted to roll low.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, for sure. Well, by all means, team, I think that's a pretty good, transition into session. At least where the hobgoblin's coming out. Our D&D Beyond tool seems to be failing me inside of the Tailspire. I'm not sure why that's the case. It's very strange. It's got like a automation tools like kicking you out kind of a thing. But the awkwardness of that is that I had literally just had it added on to the I'd literally just been using it previously like 20 minutes ago. But technology is what it is. So we're gonna begin without that. So I'll just use the normal Tailspire screen for the present moment. And without any further ado, you open up the door, Thako, and the hobgoblin doth appear to you. As you open up the thing, he stands at attention. You can see that sickle blade that moves from the side of the doorway, the head of the body splicing out, rolling onto the ground, the blood spewing out. The hobgoblin holds that big, gigantic buster sword. And this time, instead of saying tune in next time on Dungeons & Dragons, we start off our adventure with you smelling this scent, this punch of oil that's been used to coat weapons and armor to keep them in a very fine condition. A little bit of powder that you might recognize as like a gunpowder sort of or black powder source. And finally, the blood, the scent of the coppery metallic scent coming in, hitting your, you're a machine, so you don't really have nostrils, but your sensors, whatever sensors you have. As the man holds the buster sword, he says,
"How many are left?"
None, as far as I know, unless you're gonna start singing. And then, in that case, there's about 10,000 of us in here, and you better just put the sword down.
Is that an intimidation check you'd like to make?
No, deception, wouldn't it be?
Deception? You want to do deception? That's fine?
Yes.
Either one is good. That, you can do persuasion as well. These are all fitting choices.
17.
17, all right. A 17 is pretty solid. You can tell that his brutish figure, although there's some level of intelligence, there's certainly a spark behind those colored eyes that I mentioned last week. You can definitely tell that he's got like a little bit more of a combat-weary mind, not something that's well suited for some sort of interrogation or just a conversation, like a mental game of wits. He doesn't spend any time whatsoever wondering if you're telling the truth or not. Instead, he peers over your shoulder, gives this brutish sort of a snort, and says, "Come back tomorrow."
And then he goes to shut the door. Awkwardly, me having the voice mod active the whole entire time, just in this brutish voice. Nonetheless, you get a little bit more time with it.
Hold on, guy. The building's on fire here. I mean, can you hear me? You're probably in danger.
You hear his voice echo through the doorway as he says,
"I want no part of this. No part of whatever battle it is raging out there. This here, my prison, my shelter, my sanctuary temple, my roost, my rookery."
Well, the fighting is over with.
Telling you about different residences.
The fighting is over with. It's mostly a bunch of fire now that's slowly spreading, and yeah, it's probably gonna burn your temple, your shrine, your rookery down. So you got some like water in there. You wanna try to help out?
there is old saying amongst my people. Amongst 10,000, one man alone can succeed. But behind a small entrance, one man can defeat many. You will not take me, you and your army.
Okay, well, sorry, buddy. That was just bullshit. I thought you were gonna attack me or something. It's really just me and a couple of my friends, and we're not trying to take you. We're just trying to now sort of get safely out of the building and try to hopefully get some survivors outside of the building, because it's burning down.
Ha ha! You lie! You already told me your ways. I know.
Can I make a persuasion check to convince him that I, in fact,
Lied that you lied earlier?
yes, that I lied earlier?
Yes, you can absolutely try to
All right.
persuade him of your deceitful ways. Meanwhile, while he's attempting to do that, team, what else do you want to do? The building is in fact on fire. The Barbarian wild magic has regrown some of the marble walls, and yet they're still there. Gurak, is there anything that you would like to do? And Kyani, is there anything that you would like to do while this conversation's going on?
Gurak's gonna look around the room to see that I can't do much about the fire. So I'm going downstairs.
Okay, very well. You just straight up leave. Bye, Felicia.
I'll be downstairs, guys. Check
you-
things out.
You absolutely walk away. Kyani, is there anything you'd like to do?
I'm gonna search for any valuables in this room that I'm in.
Okay, there's a lot of places to look. So, you give me a location. Where do you want to look first? Like the room that you're specifically literally in now?
I'm gonna go back to this room. Across the way.
All right. Very well. Go ahead and give me an investigation check. Thako, we go back to you.
All right, result of 23 on the persuasion. I actually hit performance though, so it is in the dice log that I rolled a 6. Depends on what you want to go with though, DM.
I mean, we can go with whatever the correct one is. It's not a problem. I mean, it's this. Yeah, it's not a big problem.
Yeah, in that case, 23.
Very well. With a 23, you do succeed in convincing the man that there's less of you. And you hear or you see the door like swing open once again with this time the sickle already decapitated the person. It just whoosh opens right up. You get hit that pungent mix, that cocktail of scents again. The hobgoblin, as he stares you down, has this big evil grin on his face. And this time, when he holds the big buster sword with that big evil grin, he says,
Ah, good. So now it is I who will destroy the rest of you. You will not escape my wrath.
Wait, why? Why? We're just trying to let you out of here, guy. Easy.
You were fighting. You have been exposed to song.
Oh no, I got this little crab thing here. Takes out the little the crab whistle thing. Plays it.
You got the little crab inside of the turtle shell. You pull it. Do you want to play it?
Yeah, I'll play it.
You make the little noise, which is again trademarked. And as you make that noise out in front of the hobgoblin, he looks down at the shell as though it's the stupidest thing he's ever seen. That makes no sense whatsoever. He raises that sword again as though he's gonna strike. Then he thinks better of it for a moment, and he points down at the shell and says,
What is that? Why is that? Is this how you infect others with song?
No, this is a counter charm to whatever that song thing is. I picked it up at the fair. Actually, at Garot's Carot's. Hold on just a second. I got a card. I'll get a card out and, kind of toss it his way nervously. This is, Garot for mayor also. Have another card here. I'll pull out the Garot for mayor card and toss it his way also.
Are you just kind of like flicking them over to him, like just sort of?
They are pieces of flimsy paper, so they're probably kind of just awkwardly landing at his feet. I can give you a strength check if you really.
No, I'm just curious, like if you're, how you're doing it.
This
The
is not
motion
in a
is
hostile
everything.
manner. Yeah, I'm looking very kind of bumbling right now. As also, I had to kind of dance my feet back down to the ground, and I'm awkwardly standing on top of a body.
Yeah.
As this is happening, trying to kind of balance myself.
You can see he holds that big old sword over his shoulder. He was about to swing. He puts it down. He pointed to the thing, but now he sort of towering over you, mentally calculating like, okay, small guy, big guy, I've got this. He slowly descends to go pick up the cards, and with one hand, keeping the sword with the other, he still kind of looks at you, only flashing his eyes down for a moment, uncertain of what's going on. And when he does like reach the opposite of the apex, the bottom of his crouch, he flicks those eyes at the cards. He says to you,
You know that there is no solicitation within inside the apartments.
Well, no, I didn't really see a sign, since I heard the sounds of fighting from outside, along with my companions, and we came in to help heal the guy outside in the street. Though I'm not sure he's still hanging out around there. Look, there's been a bloody mess in here, guy. You can step out and just kind of take a look for yourself. But solicitation is kind of the last of your concerns, I would say. Feel free to close the door behind you if you want to, secure your locks and what have you. But let's get real here, buddy. The building's burning down. Don't you see the smoke around me?
the smoky haze that is there, filters around the building. And at this juncture, you watch as he sort of begins to lower his sword. It makes a big thunk as it slams down into the wooden planks beneath his feet. It sort of digs in about an inch or two, and he just leans it up so that way he can sort of rest an elbow on it as he holds over your cards. While he's looking at the cards, I'm gonna go real quick back to the other two for a moment, break in this conversation. Gurak, you're the first one. What are you doing, man? You're down. You've left your friends. You're down on the other level. When you go down there, it's just as empty and barren as you had seen before. There's a breakage in the floor. What do you want to do, man?
I want to go down one more floor, and I want to try to investigate, see if I can find more bodies, or if I'm finding maybe loot and such.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
I believe the other two are pretty strong, and I don't think they need me to get their back yet.
They're capable.
Very, very capable.
As you move down towards the lower floor, you can easily tell by the end of the staircase, this hall is dark. It's not very well lit up aside from a few little candles. And when you get to the very end, you notice that there is a smashed down, broken wall, an opening where a doorway might have been to your left. To your right, you can easily see the staircase that leads back down in case you'd like to go there. But the question, of course, becomes, to which direction would you like to investigate?
I'm gonna look in the room.
Very well. Then we'll have you go into the room, and as you make your way through the dust, the debris, you immediately notice a very dark chamber. When you enter this place, you can see that there's like a velvety bed on the other side. Looks as though it's extremely new money, sort of this rich mahogany that's been stylized and carved intricately to show these elves like raising their hands to the sun, and around the edge of the top of the balcony on top of the bed there's like these sun rays that are made shining down on top of the elves that appear to be dancing. The very bottom of the bed seems to be like made out of these little carved vines around the edges of the mahogany. and the dark maroon covers, they look as though the bottom of them, what spills out over top of the bed, looks like water, sort of covering some of the foliage, and the top, it sort of builds into this rocky and then hearth-like furnace design that's been carved into the bed. Before you, however, in this darkened chamber, you can almost barely make out those details. Instead, what more flashes directly into your mind is this blood sacrificial like circle that's been strewn across the floor. Somebody clearly like bled themselves or somebody else onto this area. You see a skeletal figure at the center. Some of its bones have clearly been missing and carted off somewhere else. It's missing a few femurs specifically, as well as a couple of different rib cage bones. They're just yanked and pulled out of the skeletal corpse. The bones themselves are blackened as though some intense heat or light flashed into the body. All of the flesh is gone from it. The other corpses clearly are far more recent, whereas this, well, being a skeleton, it's seemingly gone through the entire process of decay until there's been nothing but bleached bones left, or some strange magical effect may have caused this to occur. Or whatever the case may be, you notice that there is a bookshelf immediately upon entering the room. Pages are scattered, thrown across the area. The books are all of them destroyed, as though whatever evidence had been here, nobody wanted to be recovered. Right? You can tell by the scratch marks and the damage on where the wall was at that this is old damage. This happened far before today. What do you want to do, given all that information? Enter the blood ritual room. You can smell that coppery tinge to it. Something feels just horribly wrong.
Yeah, Gurak can only assume, with the blood ritual on the ground, that obviously something took place here that was pretty bad. And it seems like you'd mentioned it's been here a while. This isn't just because today there was a murder. The body here was put there with a purpose, and it seems like it succeeded or something.
Who knows? Maybe. I mean, yeah, it's been here a while. Or longer than the rest of the murders, for sure.
I think Gurak...
Yeah?
I think Gurak's gonna make a note of this to tell the others, but I think he's gonna use his magical awareness to look around and see if there's anything in the room in particular, or pick up a sense of a direction he should move in.
Certainly. As you pop the magical awareness, you become aware of just this heavy conjuration magic inside the room. This like heavy, dense, yellowish light that's almost like dust that filters across the room. You can smell fresh daisies and roses, these wildflower scents that are fading away. But other than that, it doesn't appear as though there's any magical items or magical spells or things that you can grasp onto that are still occurring in this room. As you do that, you get your fill, you make note of everything, knowing that something is clearly gone or taken away. We go back to Kyani. Kyani, what was that investigation check you had done?
3.
Did you say 3?
Yeah, this is 3.
Nice score! You move inside of the room. You notice that there are a couple different wardrobes, and as you go over to those wardrobes, you can you go up to them and you sort of like give a tiny little a little bit of a pull, but it appears as though they might be locked. So you're unable to open those. So you instead make your way over to the fireplace, which you can clearly see with your eyes. You notice that there's a stack of firewood that's there. You can add at least 8 pieces of firewood to your inventory if you'd like. 3.
I will do that.
Let's go. All right, you pick up 8 pieces of firewood as you're throwing them over top of your shoulder, and it's pretty heavy at this point. Each of those logs probably weighs at least like 5 to 10 pounds. So you pick up 8 of them. You got anywhere between 40 to 80 pounds that you're now carrying on top of your back. But don't worry, I get it. Adventurers are superhuman creatures. It doesn't really matter how much weight you have for the most part. Did you get all that equipment? Anything? What else do you want to do?
And then I will head towards where Seiko was, because I'm pretty sure I can kind of hear a conversation happening. It would be like, what's going on over there?
You arrive just in time for the man, as he's got his elbow stretched out over top of the sword. He's looking at the card. The smoke fills the room. You can smell the fire mixing with the coppery blood as well as the oil. And the guy just stops looking at the card, looks back down at Thaco, and says,
Campaign speech. Why should I vote for you? You seem nice enough. Maybe you're not here to kill me. Maybe I don't need to kill you. Maybe you didn't make this song thing. But why should I vote? What will you do to stop this?
And he gestures to the very real world problem facing his home district.
Well, look around you, friend. You don't see any other mayoral candidates telling you about fire in your own tenement building, as well as offering you any healing services. By the way, are you in need of any healing services right now? Are you okay?
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check. And he shakes his head no. He is not in need of healing services. You can see that he's not scratched or bruised up at all. If he was involved in any sort of a fight, he clearly won.
13, but I'm also going to use my Autognome class feature here to build for success to add a D4 to that.
You absolutely can. Go right ahead.
Okay, let's see. Let me pull up my D4 and roll it. Bingo, there it is. With 4, so 17 total.
Ooh, with a 17, the man after your speech, the guy picks up the sword, the big buster. He places it back over top of his shoulder. He like cracks his hands, rustles or his shoulders, and says,
Fine, there is work to do. We will clean here. Then we will go out, and I will discover what is going on, what is wrong here. How did you make your way in?
You can tell that this man, seeing you here, you made a pretty good first impression. You make a really good point. None of the other candidates have ever come into this guy's house and offered him direct, immediate need. And he seems to respect that. You got some power in your corner now. You the king, the man, the Shah.
Well, yeah, let's start by trying to put these fires out here.
I'll step out into the hallway and cast Thaumaturgy to try to dim the flames, and then kind of like also, kind of look to Kyani and the Hobgoblin for assistance as I'm trying to put out the fire,
Kyani, as Thaco attempts to start putting things out with Thaumaturgy, you can see that the Hobgoblin does close his door, takes out a little copperish bronze key, sticks it into the lock, and locks the place before he leaves. He puts it into his back pocket. What do you want to do as Thaco's going out to take care of these fires, and the guy is, presumably taking care of his doors?
She's going to look at the dude and be like, what's his name? Who are you?
You just, what is name? Who are you? The guy turns back around to you, and I need to edit his name here. And he tells you, he tells you,
Name Harbonin. What call you?
My name is Kyani. Why are
Kyani.
you in Berlin building? Why are you still here?
Why? What you mean, why here? There was battle. Great big battle. And I wish to take no part in this. I will survive. Strong.
Do you maybe want to go help my small friend put out flames? We want to keep building.
Yes. We will repair building. But this is why insurance exists. My thing's fine. There is wizard who will come. Wizard who will repair. I pay good gold for this.
The city folk in your ownership and having things, it makes no sense.
What you mean not make sense? You no have insurance?
Why would I need insurance?
What? Because
You can see that he immediately seems shocked and surprised, taken aback even. He takes like a step away from you as though maybe you are one of the evil creatures. And instead he says,
you live in civilized city. There are problems. In city problem occur, and you cannot pay for problem. Damage, falling roof tile, very dangerous, and insurance pay for this. You take risk, walk on street, perhaps roof tile will crush, and you will not have insurance.
gives you a big raised eyebrow as though you're the crazy one.
Yeah, he's gonna look back at him like, I'm pretty sure you're the crazy one. And Sorcerer told me to go help friend put out fire. I will go attend to other things.
Attend to getting insurance.
She's gonna make, as if she's walking away.
Sure. Thaco, going over to where you're currently located, you've got the thaumaturgy that you're doing. I'm assuming you just want to, like, dim the fires?
I'm dimming the fires and casting mending to start performing repairs of the area.
Very well. You begin
And I'm also going to loot that drow's pockets when the fires are dim enough in his area.
Sure. As you begin dimming the stuff with thaumaturgy, the guy goes over to where you're at. He does give you some assistance, moving a few pieces of boards, placing them elsewhere, taking the big rock, putting it aside somewhere else. You do get rid of enough of the fires to just simply loot the guy. Go ahead and make the investigation check. These flames were not magical in any way, shape, or form, although the carpet underneath them is wholly destroyed.
15.
With a 15, as you're beginning to search the drow's pockets, you immediately find... Are you ready to write?
Am now.
Very well. You immediately find 2 different daggers.
Okay.
A breastplate.
Okay.
A scroll of web.
Okay.
A scroll of intellect fortress.
Ooh, okay.
As well as a vial of what appears to be some sort of poison or acid. There's got this look to it as though it's filled with like this bubbling necrotic energy, and like you can see it rippling inside of the potion. This person is clearly prepared for battle, or perhaps an assassination. You can easily tell by the like painted black breastplate that you would be able to stealth far easier with that tool than you would with a different ordinary breastplate, which gives you some understanding that whatever reason they were here for with all this assassin's gear, it was obviously not good. They may have even known about the attack prior or taken part in it. Beyond that, as you're looting the corpse, the hobgoblin gets kind of low to where you're at, and he places his arm onto his knee and says,
You know, assistant does not have insurance. They are unprepared, and your campaign could suffer. If they do bad, make big damage with no insurance, you will must pay the price, unless you are insured with hirelings. You have hireling insurance? Very costly in big city.
No. Would you like to be a hireling?
You are looking for more guards.
Well, look, we need campaign staff. Honestly, we need people out there selling things like you're selling insurance, buddy. If
No,
you'd
I know sell insurance. I have insurance.
oh well, I mean, geez, you really make me want to get insurance. You're that convincing. So,
You don't have insurance?
well,
You
you
are
know the
mayoral
thing.
candidate. You want
thing
to run
about
city
it-
but have no insurance?
Well, that's exactly why I want to run the city, bud. Yeah, where is my safety? These are the problems that Masha Town faces every day. There's no safety protocols for any of the workers, including me. So if I were to get hurt on the job, I'm not even considered a person. I'm not subject or welcome to any curative or restorative magics. And there are several loopholes. That basically means that I can't even get insurance for myself. You know,
This is bullshit.
this is the sort of thing that Romani is trying to get for us. You know, just basic human rights here. You know, the same rights as humans anyway. We should all have them.
Well, yes, insurance. Everyone should have. But you, what if officials come? Kedis, no like robot. And then they see damage, they see you, and they charge you for damage. Not good.
Yeah, we should probably, you know, leave. Actually, that's a very, very astute observation. Look,
When the not so intelligent doesn't really know a lot about human conventions, rough and tough guy tells you like, hey, you should maybe just look out for yourself, man. This is a bad place to be in. You should.
we're gonna vote, buddy. Vote for Romani. I'll give him a pat on the back and continue on towards wherever Kyani was, towards the exit of the building, and presumably and hopefully the others.
Very well. You go ahead and exit the place with Kyani. Kyani, what do you want to do? Do you want to exit as well, or are you?
Gonna hang back a little bit. Is the hobgoblin following him out?
The hobgoblin does appear to be following. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna hang back a little bit behind him.
Okay. The hobgoblin, as he passes you, just gives you like a stern look, as though he's clearly in the right. You're still crazy, but he hasn't lost faith in you yet. There's a big sort of a grunt, sort of a.
You will not wish to stay. Fire out, but danger.
Well, yeah, I'm going to leave in like a couple of seconds. I promise.
Guards come, you may face fine. Look after yourself first.
Yes, I will. I will not be blamed for big murder scene here.
He shakes his head a little, as though he's not so sure that you're right, but he continues moving on. Seeing Thako that your teammate is staying behind, do you want to stay as well, or do you want to keep going?
I'm gonna keep going if this hobgoblin is following me out. I have a hunch that she might be up to some shenanigans, and you know, as I descend the stairs, Thako thinks to himself,
I wish I knew the message cantrip. I should have told her to pick his pockets.
Are you?
and then head down this. No, he's thinking this to himself.
Just checking.
Yes, that is why he was thinking to himself. Yes, thank you.
Very well. Give me 1 second here. And so we're gonna go back down to Gurak, as a matter of fact. Gurak, while you're down here inside the other room and your allies are on their way, You haven't really done anything yet. What would you want to do here? Anything in particular before they arrive?
I don't believe there's anything in the room that's piquing his interest, so he's gonna like turn and leave the room. And if he hears them coming by, he'll wait for them to come down the stairs.
Absolutely, they're gonna come in. So you go right outside the hallway just as Thako and the Hobgoblin are coming down the stairs. You can hear the little bits of creak. Otherwise, their feet make the little soft footfall sounds on the wood. You're all here together. What do you want to do?
Hey,
You
Gurak,
see
let's
each other
blow
at
this
the same
joint.
time.
Hey, Draco. Did you know there was an old ritual in here? I don't think it's going to be covered by insurance.
Oh, probably not. You know, this guy, I'll tell you. Probably some sort of odd ritual or something. I mean, there was that weird lady singing the songs, but anyway, pal, we gotta get out of here, you know?
Actually, there is ritual insurance.
Get
Very
away!
important when near the magical district.
But
No
they should cover
way.
rituals that are too much owed. I'll cut you down.
I not have that policy or problem. So, no, I don't know. You will have to check with the office for magical malfeasance and mismanagement.
I will not, but that would be a good idea. Gurak's gonna turn around and start going down the stairs.
Very well. You inform your master and liege that you're the real candidate here of the danger, and you promptly leave it.
All is quiet right now. Should be safe to just skedaddle. Where's Kyani?
Well, hey, remember that trap that I disarmed earlier?
Hmm.
He points down to the rope. Would I see that?
That's absolutely correct. You still see the trap right there. When
I'll
you
turn-
enter this downstairs room and you're talking to one another, you can see that the rope system is still attached up above. But beyond that, there is another dead drow, as well as this pool of blood spilling out over top of these wooden logs down here. A singular 2 lanterns sort of light up that hallway, just giving a little bit of something to stave off the darkness, which is probably good because down here on this floor, in this back room, you do notice a slight tinge to the air, as though there's a fog rolling through it. It's black, it's dark, you can barely notice it, but it does sort of move around the lanterns, a slight little miasma to the space. You can feel a bit of a heavy presence as you enter it also. There's a huge barricade of these nice like leather armchairs and these stacked wooden tables that block anyone from going inside or outside of the room. A singular painting to one area, and it looks like some of the wall has been broken and destroyed out back where the staircase is at. No sound greets your ears, however, other than your own footfalls.
Well, I still advise we hop over the rope.
And I'll look to the hobgoblin and give him a nod about the rope.
You turn back around to see that the hobgoblin is not with you any longer. It appears as though he may have entered the other room back behind or went back up to his own room with Kyani. Whatever the case may be, he has not followed you down the staircase.
Oh man, wonder how Kyani's doing. Hope she's looted the place.
And wow, what a good segue. Thank you very much. As we go back to Kyani, the man is no longer here and the room, his doorway is unguarded. What are you gonna do by yourself?
Who knows? I'm gonna try and pick the lock.
Whoa! It's crazy. I'm blown away. Go ahead and make your, you can do your sleight of hand check or you can do Thieves' Tools check if you've got that. Either is just fine for me.
19.
A 19 is enough. This lock is not that strong, or at least it's not that difficult to open. You pick it immediately using your tools, question mark, your dagger, your, what are you using?
I have these tools.
That's right, okay. You're using your thieves tools. You stick them into the lock, it easily breaks and allows you entry. And as you take your first steps in towards the room, there's no magical defenses, no traps that ignite or destroy you, no other malicious things on the other side. You see inside a very simple room, one wardrobe directly in front of your face, and a couple tables, a bed on the other side. It looks actually somewhat cozy. The bed itself is rather large, and you can tell that it's got like a bed of straw underneath the fabric and the frame of the thing. It's got a little bit more padding. It might be a nice place to rest for the night. And then of course this table right at the center that's just filled with blades. Just all kinds of different weapons. There's broadswords, great swords. You've got these sickles. One space where a sickle would be is missing. You've got a short sword that's in there, and all of them seem to have like a slight glow to them. There's a little shimmer as you enter the room. Sparkle, perhaps.
I'm gonna do just a quick cursory look of anything that might seem like, you know, a ledger book or a secret diary.
Okay, all right. Go ahead and give me an investigation of the room.
Okay. And she's gonna keep an ear out to hear if there's anybody on the stairs to know if she needs to run back out too.
Certainly,
as well.
Certainly. You give me perception for that.
Okay. Investigation first is a dirty 20.
Hey, nice! With a dirty 20, you do not notice any diaries, any books inside of the room. When you throw open the wardrobes, it seems that within there is nothing but clothing, a little bit of broken pieces of leather and metal that might be used to patch up armor. It seems as though whatever kind of a life this guy has, he probably doesn't keep to himself inside of his room that often. Doesn't seem to have many effects or personal things that would belong to him. There's no like toys that are in here or tools. There's no like, there's not even candle wax to have lighting inside of this room. It's stripped and very bare bones. Whatever he's got on his person is probably what he keeps day to day, aside from, of course, all those weapons in the room.
Perception was a 6. Not
That's
great.
right. And you do not hear anyone coming up behind you on the staircase. You do not hear anything in your way.
Alright, well, Kyani's gonna look at the sparkly weapons and actually just shrug and leave the room and close the door.
Okay, not interested in the slightest. You turn right around and you hightail it out of that place. Where are you going from here?
She is gonna make a beeline down the stairs and look for Party.
Very well. That's the drow body. That's the corpse. The corpse doesn't go anywhere.
I step over the corpse.
Of course you do. Of course you do. You begin beelining your way down the staircase. You probably arrive, since you didn't spend that much time inside of the room, you probably arrive in time to watch that the hobgoblin is gone. You barely see his ankle as he strides into that other room down below. Your other teammates are nowhere to be found. But you can probably hear Thako and Gurak talking down below.
You
If
can
I
do
go
that
in-
the easy way or the squeezy way, Gurak. You know, that way or this way.
Squeezy way does sound like fun. I'll tell you, it really does.
I'll go towards the sound of their voices. Maybe she'll walk a little slower and hearing whatever that was.
Sure, you go a little slow, and team, you are reunited. One of you on the top of the staircase, the other below, inside of this small little room. Thako, I notice you've moved over towards the drow body. Is there anything you'd like to do here?
Guess what I'm doing?
Are you gonna loot the body?
Yeah, you know what? I can't defecate, so...
Dang! I'm shocked and surprised, I tell you. Just outright alarmed that you would do such a thing. Go ahead and give me that investigation check, friend.
Alrighty. Boom. 9.
All right, with a 9, you notice that his body seems to be completely corroded by some acid. There's like damage to the armor that he's wearing, like the shadowed breastplate. He's also got a short sword in his hand. You can tell that the edge of the thing was slick with poison at one point in time, but that the entire metal has just been eaten and chewed away by something else. His flesh as well seems marred and sort of destroyed by this acid, as though like a whole bale of the stuff had, or a whole barrel of stuff had gotten thrown over onto him. And the way that it's chewed out, you can almost see little bits of bone exposed into his face. You reckon that most of his clothing seems to have been burned by this acid as well, as though maybe there's nothing really remaining that would be of value, unless you would like a -1 or a short sword or a -2 breastplate. You can take these items if you wish. They are damaged.
A -2 breastplate, huh?
That's right, not a +2, it's a -2 breastplate.
No, I
But
will
you now know that
instead.
whatever he got hit with does damage your equipment.
I will instead drink in this drow's countenance, acid scarring and all. Of course, like, and imagine what he would look like, you know, if those scars were to heal. And just kind of put it into my memory bank.
Got you. Shape.
Looks like some kind of hit job. I don't know what their intended target was, but we gotta get out of here. Looks towards the furniture that's kind of piled up to the south and then to the west. Do you need any kind of checks from me, DM, to investigate those situations?
No. What do you looking
Okay,
for?
so what kind
do you want?
of barrier is it that is set up in between this area, this room that we're in, and the exit to the complex?
It is furniture that's just been stacked up. The tables facing outwards, the chairs your direction. You realize you could easily take the furniture apart and move it if you wanted to on this side of the barricade. It would be much, much harder from the other side.
Hey, look, let's just move these couches here and get the heck out of here.
Couldn't we go do the squeezy route? Just go around. I don't like that.
What?
I don't
You hear
like that noise.
You hear a sound that whispers in the open air, seeming to come from almost everywhere at once.
Yeah, you want to go, like, hang out with whatever that is?
I don't know where that came from. I don't know if it's from the squeezy or from the furniture.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
so-
have it, yes. I'm not going crazy. We all heard the noise. Weird, spooky voice.
Yep, that was there. We need to get out of here, right?
Yes, I would like to leave. This place seems very cursed, and I'm not a fan.
Well, let's move some furniture.
Alright. Gurak's gonna move in
Yeah.
front of Seiko and try to move some couches.
All
I,
right,
I will
Gurak.
have
Over
to
the
move
road.
furniture.
Gurak, as soon as you go to place a hand onto the furniture, you feel this imposing presence pushing onto your body from the backside and trying to throw you down, like smash your head into a wall. You should make me a strength saving throw.
Let's go. I'm totally not about to rage. 17.
A 17 is really good. As the force attempts to thrust you into the wall, you immediately like hold yourself still as though you had somehow known that it was coming. But we all know you don't have danger sense on things you can't see. Despite that, you didn't even need it. But while it does like try to throw you against the wall, you do hear the voice whisper out to all of you in the room once again.
Well, why not, though? I mean, we're just trying to leave. We didn't do anything to you.
I look at the painting.
You like direct your eyes specifically to the painting as you answer.
Yes, I'm trying to search the room. Like, I have no eyes, so it's just like a visor with like a little bead that kind of rolls back and forth, to kind of judge what I'm looking at silently, and it just
Right.
kind of slowly directs itself over to the painting.
Sure. Why don't you go ahead and give me a perception or an insight check? You're trying
Okay.
to scan the room.
Insight is +0. Perception is also +0. Let's do it.
While
Sit.
Thaco is
5.
making, while Thaco is making that check, a nice 5. Does Kyani or Gurak want to do anything?
I want to maybe do, if this might be magical, like, I don't know, to get a sense just from the echoey and the spooky ooky of it.
Yeah, the
If
spooky
this might be
ooky.
some kind of the spooky ooky.
Uh-oh time? Yeah, go ahead and roll Arcana. And Gurak, what about
Yeah,
you?
I'm a spellcaster.
Gurak stands there perplexed. Like, he looks back, what pushed him? Nothing pushed him. There's spooky noises and stuff, so he's just clenching his axe, just like, about to lose his shit in a moment.
I'm gonna start firebolting that pile of furniture, and just to like egg Garak on, just like bright flashes of light, kind of in his eyes. He's like, God damn it, I just need to sorry. God damn it, I just need to move this furniture out of the way. Ah!
Very well. We've got the perception of 5. You look at the painting as you ask your question. You don't seem to notice any movement, any changes to the room, to the air, to whatever you're in. However, Gurak, you make yourself standing resolute. But with Kyani, with the Arcana check, you feel a disturbance in the room. There is clearly some presence in here with you. It is definitely an arcane or magical creature. You can sense that there's something extraplanar in the room with you. What kind of extraplanar, you're not sure. But whatever it is, it definitely does not belong here. And it's clearly alien in some way. While you're doing that, Thaco begins, oh God dang it, open the freaking door as he fires firebolts out from his hand at the furniture. You can see the fire immediately begin to lash onto the sides of the furniture, begins to spread slightly as per the wording of the spell. And when that fire does impact, you hear the voice answer 2 things. First and foremost, Thaco did ask, what do you want from us? And then the second it started firing. And so to answer Thaco before he even starts firing, you can hear the voice say,
I need one of you. Which of you will be so willing to take me inside?
and then as it asks you that question, and Thaco just keeps launching the bolts of fire, you do hear this like bestial screaming noise that echoes out inside of the room, and the voice immediately begins to sing to you a song in a language you don't quite recognize, and I need each and every one of you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Can I play my counter charm?
You feel an immense presence, an immensely powerful arcane attempt to charm you come over your personages. And yes, you can, as a reaction, play the little trademark TM.
I will do so.
Very well. You play the song, and as you play that song, all of your minds seem sheltered and sequestered from whatever it is. But the song continues to echo about the room, as though it doesn't quite understand that you've prevented this from happening yet. You could hear the song echoing outwards from seemingly this area. What do y'all want to do, team?
Hey, DM,
Oh, actually, I'm gonna put us in turn-based mode, and we've got. I'm gonna put the body, Dark Elf War. I'm just gonna put the body in there as a figure, as a mini, for the time being. No, the body is not resurrecting and coming to kill you. But anyway, Kyani, anything you'd like to do? Actually, you can cooperate as a team. You can collaborate as a team. You can all take your turns. This is going to be like a boss initiative thing. This may come up at various points in time during the campaign. This is a special kind of moment where each and every one of you may take your turns simultaneously. You can do whatever it is you want. So for example, Kyani can do an action, and then Thaco can do a bonus action, and then Gurak can do movement. You can do the whole thing all over again. Doesn't matter. You all get your turns, and when each of you says you're done, that'll be the end of your turn, and only then will the creature take its turn. Feel free
Right.
to
Thaco
strategize and talk.
Thaco is at this moment panicking and trying to set things on fire. This is, I mean, are you guys familiar with these types of actions that, you know, whenever he wants to leave, he's got to go. So he's blasting everything in sight, and he's going to start blasting the painting too, because he's seen the painting, at least. He knows that's there. With a low perception check, he doesn't know about any of this other mumbo jumbo. He just knows if he catches everything in the room on fire, then he can walk out of here okay. He doesn't have to breathe, and you could probably carry one of them.
I love how Thaco's strategy is, on the one hand, like, dude, there's fire up in the 3rd floor. What are you doing? You gotta get out of here, because I'm about to cause fire on the 1st floor.
He did tell the guy to evacuate the building. Look, he's putting his own safety at risk. All this insurance mumbo jumbo. If everybody's insured, this should be fine.
Wow. +1 inspiration. He does have
Thank
insurance. How'd you know?
True.
Also, I know that if you didn't know this before, insurance exists. You can have insurance.
Crazy. Okay. First of all, I think the first thing Kyani would do is probably glare a little bit. I think, like, bruh. But then she's going to look to this window that seems to be in the room. And is the window windowing?
I'm sorry. Could you please describe what windowing is? That's I need to know. That's a very technical term. I'm not familiar with windowing.
How window is this window?
Is the window?
It is a very tiny window, as you would see in Tailspire. Unless I descript it otherwise, please presume that everything you see in the Tailspire is accurate, because it would just be horrible to second guess your environment every second. There are some limitations. I'm willing to accept them. In this case, yeah, it's really tiny. If you're a small creature, you can make it through there after you break down the like golden bars that are on it. So just as it appears. And if your question is there glass in those windows? Yes, there is glass in those windows.
Okay.
So this city is like very, very nice for a setting such as Dungeons and Dragons. It is definitely more of a Renaissance city. Like you might expect them to have gas flowing through the streets, similar to Paris, City of Light.
Okay.
They
But they're
got
teeny
stuff.
tiny windows.
They are
Little
teeny
baby
tiny. It is windowing to a small degree.
But the window is windowing.
But the window is windowing, whatever that means.
How can I not be more clear? All right, she's gonna see that the window is too small to break and escape, and just address party and be like, maybe we leave room, go back where we came.
Well, we could just go to the squeezy bit there. I know Dago wouldn't have a problem. I might have to displace a couple bricks, but I think I could get through there as well. And I want to move up as Gurak. Just step over the rope, get over to see the squeezy bit of it. And he also has a blind sense. Anything around him that's invisible, he has a good idea where they are.
That's true. As you move into this space, you feel a presence pushing against you.
I push back.
You push back, and yet seems to be almost nothing there.
I don't like this space. It just pushes on me. And it's terrible because I can't hit it.
Now let me specifically be accurate for you, right? You feel a pressure on your body. You feel it as though a creature is touching you, like there was skin-to-skin contact. Right? It's not a magical thing. And yet when you go to push back, there is nothing there. There is no matter for you to touch up against, in the slightest. We're talking empty. And we're not talking like you feel an ethereal, ghostly touch empty. We're talking nothing. No sensory details whatsoever.
It's touching me.
But you can hear the song.
It's touching me and I hear music.
Does
I
it
don't like
tickle?
Which
It feels
also
like
tells you your blind sense does not detect a creature. Or rather, does not detect like an entity or a creature that's there. Despite the fact that you're aware that there's like something.
It's touching me like the F-Go is touching me, but it's not the same. It's weird.
Well, hey, look, Kyani is right, but we ought to do something about whatever this is.
I'll move closer to the painting and kind of examine it in particular.
Sure. Is that your action?
Yes.
Very well. You go up to the painting. Go ahead and give me an investigation or perception arcana. Yeah, it's probably a 3.
Okay.
And then, Gurak, you were in the presence of the action of moving. Is there something you wanted to do in this strange, disturbing moment?
I try to get out of this forest. It's uncomfortable, and it's repeating a little bit of PTSD of being touched. So he's gonna make it through the space and try to get through.
The space is big enough for a medium creature to move through it. There is no penalty, no checks that are required. As you move on to the other side, underneath the collapsed wall, you smell a horrid, rank stench that stings the nostrils right as you're going through, and you find yourself inside of a lavatory. This old medieval restrooms has a single hole that's been carved into the ground, and inside of it, you see the top of a guard's helmet, the armor that's just been shoved down into the refuse pit. You see little flies buzzing around around the thing, and you can just see like little blackened smears of shit across the sides of the seat, and a little bit of footsteps, these boots that are moving out of the building into an alleyway, the back room or the back wall that's been destroyed and blown into the place. Clearly someone broke into this room, not out. You also notice that the debris trail leads further on into the interior of where Kyani and the rest of your team have never gone.
I'm gonna like shout back, "Oh gosh, I found the entry, and I'll exit if we want to get out." And a shitty situation.
Look, we can just move these couches here in a second. I think I have a way around our problem.
And I'll point to my lips. It's just like somebody, doing like a shush motion in my mask-like face, and cast silence in the area.
Just centered on yourself.
Yeah, just centered on the painting in particular. So from whatever radius that would be. I rolled, by the way, a 13, I believe.
14.
14. Yeah.
I do have the D&D Beyond is working again.
Cool.
You cast silence with your. Wait a minute. Your action was to inspect the thing.
Yes, thank you. I'll cast silence next turn. I'm just preparing the spell.
Very well. When you, Gurak, you still have not done an action quite yet, but Thako, with that 14, you're looking into the painting, and inside of the thing, you see that it is a painting of a glassy pool of water. And inside of the surface, you can see like a little swirling of air inside of the water reflected out into the room. There's this almost like purplish haze that seems to be glittering off of that water in the painting, but not in the air in front of you. You can't actually see it. And it seems as though there's like almost little like song notes, as though you're in a Disney movie, that seem to be swirling around that purple haze from inside the portrait. But you know it's not the portrait itself. It is just this haze right here that you can't see outside of the portrait, but it is in the portrait reflected off. Whew, difficult to explain.
So I can see it when I look at the portrait reflected.
Yes.
And kind of get a bead on it, sort of like Perseus in the Medusa, right?
Similar, yes. That's right.
Okay. Okay.
But it does not give off light. It just seems to be a little purplish haze. Gurak, what did you want to do? Or any of you, really. Y'all still got all your actions, your bonus actions, your movement. You were the last one that was moving, Gurak. That's the only reason I say it.
We got an evil purple haze, guys.
Sorry, just so you know, Gurak.
That's our next band name.
Nice, yeah. I'm gonna try to use my magical awareness, my last one, to see if I can get a zoom in on this purple haze, if I can see any manifestation.
Opening up yourself to the magical presence of things in this area, you do immediately see or feel a large, imposing presence in the room that is magical. There seems to be a creature that takes up this space, or at least a presence of magic that takes up that amount of space. I know, confusing, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Kyani was kind of right. We could just go out the same way we came in and just skip this whole mess.
We could. And he points at well, you guys can't see it, but he points off to a hole in the wall. Specifically. And I think Gurak's gonna end his turn. There's not much he can do right now.
Sure. You do so. You end your turn. As you end your turn, the creature is going to burn a legendary reaction, or a legendary action, which is a bad sign, but the creature's going to use a legendary action, and it is going to, like a burst of song, shoots forth over to you, Gurak. I need you to make me a charisma saving throw.
Does the noisy crab machine help me in any way?
Does not seem to save you against this.
I think Noisy Crab Machine is only for the specific thing. But if this thing has other music.
All right. With an 8, you hear an enchanting, lovely voice, like the angels singing from the heavens above. It's so nice, it's so sweet that it is actually painful for you to hear. And the voice is singing to you, is telling you to come, open up your body and mind, become one, and know far greater salvations than you have ever known before. And it damages you. It damages you. It deals 9 points of force damage.
Ooh.
And you're left with this, with the 8, you're left with this feeling as though you want more of that song in your life. You know, you realize you need it. You've not heard this before, but suddenly being exposed to it, you don't know how you could go on without it. You desperately want to hear it again. You know that if you do not hear the song again, you will have disadvantage. After your subsequent turns. Thaco and Kyani, what do y'all want to do?
Want to cast silence now? 20-foot radius, centered on the
is-
center of this purple mist.
It is unfortunately not everyone has ended their turns yet, so you're still
Okay.
not out of turn 1.
Sorry, you asked what we had wanted to do, so that's why I was
Yeah.
getting to. Okay, sorry, I
You still
thought
got
we
bonus
went around.
actions, movements. You need to specifically tell me you're ending your turn. I know it's a little
Oh,
different from
sorry.
the normal standard rotation of abilities and movements, but we are technically in combat.
All right. Well, my turn. Will I guess I can still move, right? So
Yeah,
I'll
you got plenty.
I'll
You get your full movement.
I'll move over to this area right here and start. Actually, I'll start dancing up to the windowsill.
All right, you do so. You do your little jig through the air as you make your way up onto the sill. I don't know if I can place you there or not. Oh, I made you disappear.
I can shift click me there.
There
Wait,
you
I got.
are.
Yep.
There you are.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you do your little dance. You fly, levitating 10 feet up into the air. That's it. You got anything
Bonus
else?
action, Misty Step, outside.
Goodbye, team. This mayor is certainly not a man left behind kind of guy. Where do you want to go in 30 feet? You
Oh
notice
boy.
Immediately, you may not be able to see this on your
Oh, would
perspective.
I notice this if I look out the window? I'm not going to Misty Step
Absolutely.
out. Yeah.
You can see that there is a small crowd of people. I'm just going to put you here so you can see it. You can see that there is a small crowd of people that have gathered around the dying individual. Two of them are clearly shrouded, hooded Kedis figures. One of them is a Knoll caster. Another person is one of those lizard folks. This person is in that shaman witch doctory person is in service to Karik. You saw them earlier, as well as that darn chicken that was causing a problem during your speech. All of them gathered outside of the dying man's body. Seemingly, two of the casters are trying to cast magic on them to potentially heal them, damage them, buff, debuff. You don't know.
Question,
But you see
DM.
this.
This is the individual that I healed previously, correct?
Bingo.
And he is now dying again?
No. You stabilize it. He's just everyone else perceives that he is dying. Like they've just arrived.
Okay. Well, in that case, I will stay perched at the windowsill and, exclaim to the rest of the group,
Looks like we've got to go out the back door. Drawing too much heat out the front.
and that will end my turn.
All right. As you end your turn, it is going to burn another legendary action, and it is going to shoot these radiant song notes over to you like the singing soft song of angels. Ah, over to you as well, Thaco. I need you to make me a charisma saving throw.
I hope you're both really charismatic.
Dirty 19.
Congratulations. With a 19, you hear the softest, sweetest voice you've ever heard. Or at least, it might have been if you hadn't taken that trip into the affliction that one day and been to Elysium where the actual angels sing. This voice is, it's all right. It's pretty good, but it you've heard better. You're not super attracted to the voice. It doesn't cause you any immediate harm, but you do want to hear it again. You find it infectious, even, as though if you heard it again, maybe you could remember the words, and maybe you could sing it yourself. Kyani, you're the only one who hasn't taken any actions, bonus actions, or movement yet, which means you're the only one left. What do you got? What do you want to do?
Wow.
In this obtuse scenario?
Kyani is going to making my way down the steps, and towards where Gurak was after hearing that there might be an exit in the
Certainly.
back.
Sure.
Avoid the rope trap.
Of course you can. You easily do so.
At all possible.
I should ask, do y'all want me to move your minis during combat, or do you want to move it yourself? What is preference?
I prefer to move mine.
I'm fine moving mine, but I probably should have asked you to get me off those stairs because I suck at stairs.
Tailspire is hard. Vertical is difficult.
I thought it was.
hard.
I thought
I
it was
love my
Deiko.
movement.
I thought Deiko has a hard time on stairs, not Kyani.
Look at you. That's what's called a callback in comedy.
And I'm just gonna use as much as my movement to get back there. So
All right, well, you've only moved, I believe, 15 feet so far, so you got plenty left. Dash the rest of the way.
Yeah.
You can even dash out of the building if you want. You can leave your friends behind.
Get that. Get that.
You do dash. You're gonna dash out the back.
I'm going to dash right to the opening, and I'm gonna ask you to move me because I literally cannot see around this corner.
That's okay.
I'm gonna dash right to the opening, but not go all the way through. I'm gonna wait for them at the the whole.
Aw, that's so cute. You don't want you want to pretend like you're not leaving them behind. I love it.
Pretending.
You are not within the creature's ability. It does not spend a legendary reaction to hunt you. However, on its turn, the magical entity seems to move. It seems to follow you, Gurak. And going on top of your position, like directly over where you're at, you can feel it breathing over top of where you are, like there's a little bit of mist. You can hear it singing directly into your ear, and it is going to once again, or actually it is no longer going to try to sing the song. It is going to attempt a possession. You can feel this thing moving into your body, into your mind, as the song becomes infinitely louder, such that it might rupture your eardrums as it seeks to go into your body. I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Help.
Help, I'm being possessed.
3.
Oh no.
Help.
Now, team, possession is one of those things where it kind of takes away player agency, right? And that's not fun at all. There are some things in Dungeons and Dragons, like losing a limb, that I will never impose upon you, unless, of course, you say with express permission that you're okay with that. You want it for some sort of storytelling arc, or whatever else it might be, right? So now we need to have a quick conversation about possession and fun. So would you think it'd be fun or engaging or enjoyable for you to be under the possession of a creature such that you can't control your own body, actions, dialogue? Would you prefer a version where you can't control your actions but you can control your dialogue? Would you like to be able to control your actions but not your dialogue? Or would you just like to have checks imposed on you when you try and do different things?
In this situation, I'm perfectly alright. For storytelling purposes, letting the possession do what possession is, total control.
Yeah.
And try to, if I can, fight back when it allows me. But yeah, I'm okay.
Sure. Okay. Well, with that out of the way, team, each and every person, you get your own. If this ever happens to you, get your own checks, and I'll have this conversation again about possession and fun, because it is at the end of the day about the fun of the game, right? Your entertainment is more important than anything else. Well, within reason. But anyway, as soon as it possesses you, it absolutely stops. The music goes away, fading into the back of your mind, a distant melody, and combat is over.
Hey, I did it!
Well, whatever you did, good job. Let's get the heck out of here.
Now, Gurak, as he says that, he goes, "Good job, now let's get the hell out of here." You hear the voice, just the way he says it, the silence of the house, of the room, And yet, the way he says it, it's almost like there's an echo. You hear his voice twice. Once the way he normally says it, and another way like, great, whatever you did, let's get the hell out of here. It's just sort of in the back of your mind.
All right. Is Gurak able to move?
You sure are. You have full control over yourself.
Cool.
Which, of course, should be making you really wonder,
What the hell does that mean?
What the hell does that mean? But I'll follow Theko's advice, and I'll even help lead him towards Kyani and get the hell out of here.
very well. Y'all go over towards the back of the house. Do y'all just want to leave out the back?
Yes, let's go out of the back of the house.
Do I hear two singing now? Two singing voices?
Well, I think he was doing that more for comedic value than necessarily singing it, right? But yes, you would still hear two. Team, as you make your way out into the alleyway, there is no map here for you to go on, which is much to my chagrin that the map has a border. It is not infinite. You have my apologies for making an uninfinite map for you. But let me show you this very quickly. Your alleyway is going to look something like this. And due to the limitations of Tailspire, we're not going to try and have an infinitely expanding city out in the other direction, because I'm not trying to melt your computers here. I'm also recognize that there's only so much valuable play space. So if you should desire, you can escape out the alleys and go somewhere else in the city. However, once you make your way out into this alleyway, this barren space behind the houses where not much lives, or there's not much to encounter, a few thoughts immediately enter your mind. First and foremost, great, we got the heck out of there. That's step one. Step two, the sound of the fire, as well as the coughing of the smoke that might be there, all of that is kind of gone. And so you no longer hear that anymore, or feel that, smell that. You can feel the sounds of the city begin to return as people are out enjoying the celebration. You can hear the carts as the carriages rumble away, and all of the things that had just happened to you inside of that apartment, barely an inconvenience. And beyond that, you feel the lovely festival celebration, that mood begin to return. But you remember something had gotten away from you. Something hooded, something cloaked, teleported out away, and you realize all of the Kedis in the city, or many of them at the celebration, are wearing their Kedis robes. And this robed, hooded creature, it could be any of them. But you and you alone know that this creature is out there in the city. Whatever it is, whatever this song was, something that you could not easily put a finger down to, could be anyone in the city at all. And you recognize yet another thing in your mind as you leave out the back of the alleyway. All that darn festival back there is still going on, and the political candidates are still schmoozing with the rest of the crowd in their attempts to get elected. And it would be quite odd if you weren't there. And yet, perhaps you've had your fill of fun for the day. You know you have a private safe house to return to if you so desired. So the question remains, party. You may have gotten into safety out into the alleyway, but there is still a festival to enjoy, or to schmooze, a creature to locate, and safety to attain. What do you want to do, team?
Look, I think that thing might still be here, and if it is, it's dangerous. Also, I have a mayoral campaign to run as Romani, so I think perhaps we should actually just kind of like turn back around and continue to party like nothing's going on, dangerous like.
try to blend back in with the peoples.
Yeah. There we go. Okay. Speaking of,
I shapeshift back into the form of Romani.
You do so. You're using that hat of disguise. The little sparkles shimmer down from the hat. This little black magic of illusion swirls around your body, and when the blackness fades away, you are no longer the small little Autognome. Instead, you are this fine wizarding shop companion.
Let's cut around the alleyway to the north and east of here. I think we'll be able to blend into crowd a little easier this way, yes?
Sure. Kyani, will
Does
you join us?
anybody feel kind of wrong about the whole murder situation? We're not gonna unpack that, just gonna keep moving.
Yes, there are clearly assassins here. Perhaps we should keep our eyes peeled and, look for this assassin. I will try to be as distracting as possible as an attempted mayoral candidate while you are doing this. I am going to look perfectly human. This will turn out well. I am sure there will be no hiccups whatsoever. I'll head down the alley.
I'll try to keep stay close to Thaco. People are going to be probably showing up to shake his hand. I'll get close with them. I don't know. Do you want to continue with us, or are you going to investigate the la's that was in the building?
Kyani is gonna be like, we can go back to party. I feel we should not discuss, but I will be keeping my eye out. Should we not have code words for if something bad happens? Maybe a specific word like wood or so. Maybe something like pineapple.
How about flutes? Use flutes.
Okay, and don't listen to any music because I'm pretty sure people rebels and not good.
You
want
tell them
courage.
not to listen to music, and yet there is song throughout the air as various songs from bards are being played throughout the streets. It all seems to have the same sort of a tune to it, but they're just all across the roadway. There is song and frivolity wherever you look. And it's actually at this moment, as you're discussing whether or not you need a code word, that you break your way out back onto the streets. You can see that there are several people across the street that have actually. You may not be able to see this depending on the tail spire, so I'm gonna gesture everything out to you, because tail spires, it's limited. You see that
Before
there's a
you
group.
do that, can you call me back to the board? Because I have to
I
get out.
can. More
Sorry.
difficulties. Yeah. So you notice immediately to your right that there are a group of elves that are making their way down the street over towards the commotion that has occurred with the one drow that has been saved by the rest of y'all. You can see that outside, across the street, directly away from where you're at, you know this to be a seamstress and tailor shop, a place where you can get virtually any sort of fabrics created from simple gloves all the way up to huge bedspreads or gigantic manor rugs. This place is well respected, and it is definitely a Kedis establishment on the Kedis side of the street. The other buildings, are more Monjura related, quite a literal deviation where the road is at. There are a couple lizard folk outside there, as well as people that are beginning to spew into the place. You also notice way down the street corner that there's a couple hooded figures that are making their way out of an alley. A lizard folk in between them, as they're all talking and discussing something. The day's affairs, you know not what in particular. But beyond that, you also notice that there are the Hellions, that are at the stands, as well as some Kedis figures, the hag, and some other magical folk are lining up at the stands. And so too are the rest of the crowds that you had seen before, gaily enjoying their affairs out in public, talking with one another about recent games, about the gladiatorial contests of the in the affliction, discussing heartily the meals that they just had, some of the mayoral speeches that were just given, as the water elemental roils and tumbles inside of the fountain, attempting to give everyone a beautiful, splendiferous sight to behold. All of the Juris and the Jurin and the Kedis citizens seem to be interacting with each other rather well, perhaps a little too well. And you notice that although the Masha, the other one of your other contenders, is not here, that their guards still are. They seem to be making their way up to one of the other tents in the vicinity. This, all as it has been scripted, do you see?
Okay. Over here, we were in this area earlier. Was this a machine entity of some sort?
That's correct.
That was okay. I would definitely like to make my way over to this booth to see what's going on.
Very well. As he goes off to that booth, do y'all want to follow or do you want to go somewhere else?
Gurak will follow Thako.
And Kyani.
By the way, you guys can feel free to like investigate any of these shady ass motherfuckers that are around. I am trying to play the mayoral game over here, so like there's some shenanigans afoot. I would advise that you guys, see what you can drum up. Maybe I don't know.
With that, then I will most certainly start going to a different tent.
All right, which tent do you want to go to? When you go out into the big gigantic circle here, the roundabout where all the carriages would draw into, you can see that there are many different ones. The most immediate one that you're going to right now seems to be a tent for perdition. You see that there are hellish, devilish kin that are inside of the thing, two off to the side, and one magnificent, glowing red fire emblazoned woman inside, reminding you of a succubus or an infernal commander of some kind. That is, a few people are stepping up to talk to them. Beyond that, you notice that there is another one behind. The one on the other side of the, deeper out of the far eastern side of the roundabout seems to have a holy hero inside of the place. A knight that is just glowing with radiance like the sun, these big angelic wings behind them, runes carved over top of their head as they wield some great sword inside that's giving off this wafting plasma. Again, be it further in back towards the courthouse, you can see that there is a giant talking bear inside of one of the tents. Unlike the other one that represents Heldenstadt, the plane of heroes, and the one prior, Perdition, more like a hellish type of place, there is the Barbarian tent. A plane known to all animalistic creatures where when you die, you are reincarnated as perhaps your favorite animal or the animal that most represents you. But each and every one of the animals local to Paraware are sentient and can indeed talk and do all the things that sentient creatures can. For whatever reason, there's a bear that's inside of that tent, standing up and roaring at the guards. Beyond, you know that Thako is currently at the tent of Hyrus, a mechanical plane where when creatures go and are reincarnated, they become these beings made of gadgetry, steel, and other non-living matters. That is the plane of ultimate order inside in the universe. And you, of course, have already been to the Tent of Elysium, known to the heavens. There seems to be only 5, despite the fact that there are 8 well-respected infinities that you can go to. Infinities being the word for these timeless realms that go on forever and evermore. Which of them would you like to go to?
Gurak's gonna head over to the Perdition one and see what's going on, but he's also gonna try to keep an eye out the general area.
Sure, very well. Anything you're looking for when you're keeping an eye out?
Singing, music, specifically the fluty kind or what we just experienced.
Yeah, go ahead. You can go ahead and give me a perception check for that. Kyani, where are you going? What do you want to do?
I'm gonna go towards the center of where I think she's just trying to hear anything that might be with the folks around.
It's a little difficult for me to hear you or to understand what you're saying. What is it you want to do?
I think I'm gonna go to the center there where I position myself, and I think I'm just gonna try and listen around to see if I hear anything of interest from the people in that area.
Very well. You can give me a perception check as well. For a moment there, your clarity markedly improved, and then it like came back down for a moment. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe like the way you're like speaking at something might change it. I'm not sure. But either way, perception checks from both, and then we'll go back to Thaco. Thaco, as you walk over to the Hyrus tent, you can see that there is currently a dwarven woman, an absolute rarity, by the way, because dwarves are nearly extinct in this world setting. So to see a dwarf is just holy crap rare. There's a dwarf that's sitting up into the Hyrus setting, looking down at 4 different pieces of paper. Each of these pieces of paper have writing strewn across them. You can see the dwarf is struggling, little beads of sweat going down the left side of their face as they try desperately. They're sort of biting at the end of the pen of the piece of wood there, not knowing what it is that they're going to write on next. And the halfling behind them is just sort of like, come on, we've already been here so long already. Just write down, pick anything you want. Just move along. Hurry up, I don't want to spend all day at this one tent. And the dwarf is putting up a finger going, it's fine. Give me time. It's a hard decision. Gotta make it the right decision. The being inside of the tent, the enforcer, as you may know it by, is sitting there with its golden resplendent armor, these lines of energy moving throughout the cracks and the various edge marks that are made inside of the metal. It has this glowing golden light of energy shining out from inside. You can see it almost as though the being inside underneath the armor is just nothing but pure energy itself. Doesn't seem to care one way whether they're what they're doing, like if they're answering things correctly, if they're taking too long. It doesn't seem to matter to this creature. They're just standing there resolute. You might even not know that they're sentient with how stiff they're standing. But they are waiting their turn. Do you want to just cut in up to the rest of them, or what do you want to do?
I'll kind of move in easily and just kind of like peer at some of the documents that are nearby this woman and kind of like look around for any sort of like rules or anything like that to whatever this contest might be while she's trying to work her way through the problem.
Give me an insight check.
Okay. Haha. 16.
Very well. Looking down at all the different pages of the paper or the book that's at the end, you can tell that the book is very similar to the one that you'd been at before in the Elysium tent. They likely are just going to jot down your name with that light, as they've done before, registering every contestant and their score. But beyond that, you can see that the pages that are old, they're yellowed around the edges, but in the center of them, they have a sigil that's on them. And the sigil has writing inside of it. So it is a literal ruin, the whole entire page. Inside of the paragraph, you recognize that as one of the universal contracts that are made at the city of the gods in Sigil, somewhere else in the cosmos, and that these these divine contracts are enforced by Hyrus, as well as these huge divine entities dangerous to any mortal beyond compare. A threat that even immortal creatures must think about before they break an eternal one of these divine compacts. And before you, the dwarf is struggling to write down which of these contracts it wants to sign itself to. You can tell that the Hyrus Guardian here is attempting to have you choose which of the contracts you would sign if you had access to each and every one of them. The contracts from left to right are as follows. The leftmost contract says that you or the signer of this contract will have the ability to move throughout any plane of existence as they should so desire. But everything that they take from the planes is not theirs to keep. It is instantaneously given to a different authority. An authority of Hyrus. The next page, or the document that's there, mentions that anything that you glean from the mortal realm can be targeted back to Hyrus, and in exchange, you may exchange that item for a different one, perhaps a follower of Hyrus, something that you can take with you back onto the mortal realm if you exchange item for soul. The next one, the third page here, mentions that a creature that signs onto this document will be able to transit into the plane of the dead, the Evanes, where all matter becomes at one point, or all souls at one point break down and become the very dust of magic that other people cast or channel onto, that they control with their own volition. But when they go back there to that plane of the dead where all souls linger, they will not be able to return, but they can allow someone else to return in their stead. Finally, you have the last document therein that describes when you sign onto that piece of paper, you will know instantaneously the plane of existence that your soul will go to and what kind of creature you will become in the next life. However, in the current life, you will begin to forget your past as it has occurred before you've even left the plane. You determine that this is some kind of a test, and that the enforcer here is actually expecting people to choose the correct option for what would be expected under their understanding of the universal order of things.
Okay. Can I get a quick summation of these 4 options, because they were all,
Pretty in
like,
depth.
can I get just a quick A, B, C, D of these?
Yeah, sure, why not? A has to deal with realm transit. This B has to deal with life transference. Option C has to deal with unraveling or undeath, and option 4 has to deal with knowing the future.
Okay. Can I make any sort of knowledge check here to glean what they would think the best answer should be?
Yeah, you can make a history check or an insight check. Either one is
Okay.
fine.
Can I cast guidance on myself and say, "God's guide me. I think I might have the right answer."
Yeah,
And
you absolutely can.
okay. And I will roll a 4.
Oh my god. Thanko, no!
So, yeah. With that, I guess it's all on the player, right?
You still got your guidance.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Okay. I don't think it's going to help me that much, but here goes. Additional 1.
1. You got a 5.
Yep.
You realize that although you've been on this planet Sigil for quite a long time, there's something about this that seems particularly slimy, hard to grasp, as though the rules of the universe have often failed you. Perhaps you don't understand because you weren't mortally born into them, but you were created instead, and you have your own rules that you function by. Nevertheless, you do watch as the dwarf takes their pen and they jot it down adjacent to the pulling back somebody else, being able to transit to the realm of the dead, the Evanescence, to become one with the soul matter of the universe and allow someone else to transcend. And you hear the enforcer go, incorrect. That action is not only inadvisable, but will guarantee you one-way trip back to the Evanescence, where you will spend the rest of your lives as not a living thing, but as dust to be used. You have failed. Move along. The dwarf puts down the pen and then raises a hand and says, "But don't I still get something related to the Evanescence? Don't I? That was the rules." And the enforcer does like raise their hand, place a purple chip onto the table, a little piece of stone that glows. The dwarf takes it, holds it into their hand almost lovingly, turns back over to the halfling and gives them a rueful, baleful sort of a cast with their eyes and says, "I knew it. You pressured me. I would have gotten it if you hadn't spoken up." And they try to move past you over to the tent where they ponder the little glowing rock they've been given.
Yeah, I'll let her move past and just kind of like stand aside and look to the halfling. Which one do you think you're going to pick there?
The halfling steps up to the pages and turns back around and says, "Well, I know exactly what the right answer is, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. I don't. You know what? Why don't you go first, and I'll just wait over here. I don't want to make the game too easy for you."
Well, I know what the correct answer is, so with certainty I can say that I will be giving this answer to you should I go first. I know this game. You are next in line. I will wait my turn. Go ahead. After you.
Well, if you know the answer, then maybe you wouldn't mind sharing it ahead of time, and I'll pick that one.
Well, friend, if you're not an individual of greed, I would say the option to travel the plains, even if you can take nothing with you, would be wonders. To behold the power that you would gain from the knowledge of what you would see would outweigh any material goods that you could take back with you. This is the one I will choose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, sure, that might be the one that you would choose. That might be the answer, but what are you gonna get for it, right? The robot man here is gonna give us something really juicy, and what if you ask about the future and the past? That's never been done before. That's gotta be good.
Well, it's your turn. You've heard what I would select. Go ahead.
Right. Yeah, my turn first. Yeah, so I guess I'll just go up there then. You can see he gets a little bit more nervous now that you've given him an explanation, and he doesn't seem so sure in what he was saying before. But he does step up to the table, and they ask for his name. He gives it. It says that he's Murphy Applesbottom, and after he gives the name, you see the light divine shine up into the book just as before, and he goes to take the future past one, retracts his hand. He goes over to the one that you had mentioned, being able to travel all the planes, but all the items going back to Hyras. And he takes the pen and he writes down and signs the contract. And as he signs the contract, the enforcer inside of the tent goes, "You have chosen wisely. There is nothing that you need to take from anywhere else into these plains. All the other options are clearly things that break the natural law and order of the universe, but this, it does not. We look forward to all the things you will send back to hire us. Please take your winnings, and holds out this strange metallic cube that shifts and whirls even as it hovers over top of the enforcer's hand. And the halfling grabs the thing, turns back around, and says, "Ha! I knew that was the right answer all along. I was just testing you."
Well, if I was any help at all, little guy, vote for me, Romani. I'm running for mayor, going to return things like this to the people like you. The
You're
wise ones.
you're gonna
We
get-
should be in charge.
You're gonna give everyone one of these? I don't know about that. That belongs to hire us.
Well, now it belongs to you. I kind of
Should've
give him an
thought.
approving nod and a sparkly
belong.
thumbs up.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Romani. Yeah. Yeah.
What a
yeah,
businessman.
okay. Yeah. That was. You know what? Maybe I will vote for you. Yeah. He walks away somewhat more confident in himself than before, and you can easily tell that was not what he was going to pick. He did not actually know the correct answer, but he seems pretty happy. You've definitely won over that voter. Congratulations. He makes his way immediately towards the other tent where he sees Karik there. And as soon as he arrives, you watch as the big pocket Pegasus slams up into the air, streaking out of the tent. And Karik just tags along to the back, floating up into the sky with the Pegasus. The enforcer watches you as you step up to the plate, step up to the tent to see what you will do.
I just look to him, give him a nod. Well, so signing one of these contracts, it would hold me to these terms, wouldn't it?
That is correct. Once you sign your penmanship onto the page, your soul is forfeit to whatever guardian divines this contract.
I understand this, but even though I know the wisdom in never making any ripples in the pond, sometimes, friend, you have to make waves. I give him a charming smile and leave a card on his desk.
Are you attempting to persuade the enforcer from Hyrus at the tent that he should vote for you?
Yes, that he should lean into my favor. Yes, I certainly am. And I will,
Make me a persuasion check.
all right.
Or a
Wait, this-
performance. That was pretty stylish.
Okay. I'll go performance. Natural 20.
Oh, with a nat 20! Hey-oh! That's what we like to
Nice.
see. Would you like personal or group success?
I'm on my own with this one, guys. I'll take the personal success.
Would you like long-term or immediate success?
Long term, please.
All right. You approach this person with cunning, with swagger, as you say. Sometimes you've got to make waves. You see the helmet glow with this light inside of it. Shock and surprise as you give off some ancient command words. It immediately flashes for a moment blue, then green with recognition. You see it raise its battle axe. These like green blades flash off the sides like this, almost like just this energy blade, right? And as it stands at attention, it says to you, "O king, my king, I did not recognize your royalty here upon this mortal realm. Please forgive me, but Hyrus will stand beside you. Here is your badge." And he moves forward to place the energy bladed battle axe up to you. You can see the thing opens up and a small vial of energy, little gust of steam rises up, flicks out onto the table in front of you. You can see it has these little tiny gears that rotate around the edges of the glass vial. Inside, a greenish bolt of lightning that flickers around. You can almost see inside of the flickering beam of thing of lightning a bunch of small metallic atoms moving around. And when you look close enough, it almost looks like that these are enforcers similar to it, rolling around inside of the vial.
I will reach out and take it, knowing that it would probably reveal that I am under disguise, by interacting physically with the world.
That's right.
And see how it reacts to that.
Yeah, as you reach out and grab the thing, and you're disguised flickering for a moment, the Autognome features being revealed, the being from Hyrus seems to nod, as though this was already known to it. And then it just merely says, "It is wise for one of us to hide amongst them.
Well,
But Hyrus will have its reckoning. Order will be imposed."
indeed, there is a lot of disorder here, friend. We need to do something about this. So, perhaps this can be enforced under my rule. We will see in time.
When you raise the banner, we will come.
I give him a nod, not knowing what the heck he's talking about. And
You know, as you pick up the vial and the roleplay moment ends, that you have just gained an ability. There's a very special thing, bottled lightning, that you can get. And the bottled lightning can do quite a lot of different things. But this is a Hyrus-specific version of the bottled lightning. So, you can use this as a normal one if you would like. And the bottled I'll send you a sheet for this. That I just have to dig it out. But the bottled lightning you can use to cast a lightning bolt spell and shoot it out in front of you if you should so desire, or you can send up little sparks into the air, granting everyone around you the bless ability, giving people additional 1d4s on all saving throws and ability checks. But for a far longer time than bless ordinarily is. It also allows them to re-roll one check. Or you could open up the bottled lightning and gain one immediate inspiration.
okay.
You can also give it to somebody else if you want. But this specific one, this Hyrus bottled lightning, contains within it the ability to summon the realm of Hyrus down onto your current location. Which means that he has essentially given you like a call to arms. You can summon down like armies from Hyrus if you want. You can use this to potentially invade the mortal realm. This is a very unique thing that is not given out freely to mortals. This is only given to very high VIP individuals who can be trusted with such an item. For some reason, your lineage, whatever it is that you are, seems to be connected to Hyrus, and they seem to know that.
Okay. All right. Feeling quite uncomfortable, I walk away as the wizard. Off to
Not
see
even
what
gonna take the test.
Yeah, Gurak is doing. Yeah.
You're going over to Gurak?
Yep.
All right. Then we go next to Gurak or Kyani. Which of you would like to take the spotlight?
Kyani?
Okay.
All right, Kyani. We put you right firmly into the spotlight, or at least you would be, except that your goal is to listen in. And so as you're listening in on this conversation with your 12, you can hear that there is an orc at the very core of this group who is standing atop a bench. You're obviously supposed to sit on those, but they clearly don't care. And they have a mug inside of their hands. They're sloshing it out across the steps. And although they're surrounded by mostly Monketis, who might not have enjoyed the company of this orcish figure, they're all listening in excitedly. You can hear them murmuring over that same similar song that you had heard the elf singing the tune to earlier on their flute. Not singing, playing rather. Despite all of that, the orc is saying, "There I was, back at the edge of the affliction. I thought that everything would be lost when perdition invaded. The devil spawn, they just were flying throughout the city, throwing fire bolts, slashing people down with these big mighty glaives. But I survived. I ran into an alleyway. That's when I saw it. These munchkin little people, they started stabbing at me with these knives and asking me to give them my food, but I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't hear of it. I picked him up. I slung him over my back. And I dashed down further down into the alley. I told him I would eat this one. Eat him I would if they didn't leave me alone. That they would be my food. Then he sort of loses track of where he was going. He looks off for a moment and sings the song again. But instead of anyone finding this strange, each of them gather around and begin singing the song with him along the lyrics. Seems to be about an adventurer. Some adventurer, that this hero that comes with the dawn. That he'll save, will knock out the darkness with his wholesome light. And vanquish any evildoers with their might. And I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw as you hear them all chant the song together.
Wisdom?
Come again?
Was it wisdom?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
This is a charm effect. You can roll with advantage if you have such abilities.
I got an 11. I'm gonna burn my inspiration.
All right, you're gonna burn the inspiration. I believe that brings you down to 0 now. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I believe that means actually everyone is at 0 except Thako. Thako has 1.
I have 2 actually.
Do you have 2?
That works.
Yeah, because I've used 1 plus the bottle lightning.
That's true.
I don't remember.
All right, you
using
want to take the
inspiration.
1, right? You don't want to take the 11?
Get a choice.
You can choose the 11 if you want.
11, please.
Yeah, I like the idea of you taking the new total entirely, just whatever that is, but I will not curse you to that fate. You may take the higher of the two of the totals as though you had advantage. Although, you know. Anyway, with the 11, unfortunately, the song rattles around in your mind, and you actually join in on them with the second verse. And you begin singing away at that thing, and you can hear the song rattling around in your mind, even after they're done singing. The guy regains his composure and says, "Where was I? Oh, right, yes. So, there I was atop the building," which is completely not where he was at before. That's not where he was at. But there I was atop the building, and I looked down into the steps after and inside there were so many dead bodies right at the top of the old banking tower. The place was under construction, but there were just all around people inside, left and the right, the center. It was a gruesome place. I covered my nose. I could barely smell inside that place. And there it was. That's when I started to hear it, the song. It would sing to me. All the corpses, they got up and began to do a merry jig. How lovely was it? How fortunate was I to find this place? And left, there was so much gold inside too, so much to spread throughout for everyone else. And you get to have some of the gold. And you, my bestest friend, you get some of the gold. And I'll even give a handful to you. And he begins to genuinely start throwing gold out of his pockets. You can see the big, massive coin purse as everyone, like the coins are clattering to the ground, and they don't even seem to care about it. They just seem to care about his story and him telling and finishing it. And that's where, and one of them will even say like, "Oh, you don't need to give us any more gold. We've already got enough from last story you told." And the guy just tells them about how after that moment, he had gotten down from the building, escaped, and the Devilkin did not pursue him any further. He talks about how he came back later that day, but most of the gold had already been taken out, and he only got what he could carry. But this means he doesn't have to work for the rest of the year if he doesn't want to.
In the second verse of this song? Is his
Yes.
name mentioned at all
There
for
is
hero?
there is no name mentioned of the hero in the
Okay.
second verse.
Right. I don't think I'm gonna stick around to find out the third.
No, you're gonna move. You're gonna go elsewhere.
Yeah. If I could, I would like to try and pick up some gold on the way out, though. Like, oh my God,
Sure, sure. Go ahead and give me a sleight of hand.
like, don't mind me. Yes, very interesting story. That's a 12.
All right, with a 12, you reach down trying to grab some of the gold as best you possibly can. People are very entranced listening to the guy's song, but the person closest to you in the hooded robes looks back at you, down at you while you're stealing and says, hello there, that is my gold, I believe, that you are trying to take.
Oh, this is your gold you're trying to take. That is still on the ground unclaimed.
Yes, this is my gold. I have not yet taken it, but I will take it. Not now, but later.
I would like to do an insight.
Sure.
Like, was he singing?
What are you inciting for? If he was singing, what do you want to do? What do you want to know? What do you want to learn?
If he was in on the song, or if he just kind of seems to be standing there.
Oh, okay.
And maybe I should stop asking her.
What can I say? The dice rolls are are particularly bad today. For everyone, it's not just you. It's everyone. But you do believe that yes, he was singing along. The check required threshold only a 5. He was definitely singing along with the rest of the group, and he's definitely heard this story before. He seems to be excited and thrilled to hear it again.
Alright, with that, I think Kyani is going to just leave the gold for him and leave the area.
Sure, very well. Where else are you going off to inside of this festival celebration?
I think I'm going to go to this tent more often.
Very well. You go past the tent where the guards are at. At this juncture, you can see one of them or two of them move off. And the guards of Masha are just going to sort of walk past you. So you can engage them if you want. If you don't, that's A-okay. And the next group of people will walk up to the Paraware tent. But beyond that, we will go... Go ahead, sorry.
You said that just to clarify, guards are passing me now.
That's correct, yep.
Okay.
Eutropius Masha's guards are just continuing to walk.
Alright.
Very well. We go back to Gurak. Gurak, it's your turn now. As you approach the tent of perdition, you can hear the hag in a very shrill voice exclaim that she absolutely will be doing no such thing. She has a hard enough time fitting into this city as it is. And she walks off sort of angrily stamping. But you can see that as she's angrily stamping, going off, sort of making a huff about it, that she's also casting hag spells in her hands, preparing to make some sort of perhaps a deal, or perhaps a fey-ish bargain. Perhaps she's casting a curse, whatever the case may be. You definitely notice it. She doesn't seem to go very far from that tent. Beyond that, the Dragonborn then steps up to the area, and you hear the dragon or the Dragonborn speak out and say, "Alrighty then, what is it this tent? I rather liked the last one back over there. There was a couple different papers on the ground, and I got this nice box. Do you have something if we get it or do your test right?" The devilish creature simply stares into the mind of this Dragonborn, as clearly some mental link, some telepathy is shared between the two. And despite that telepathic link, the Dragonborn just simply goes, "Oh, no," and walks away over towards these other Hellions and says, You people are rude and terrible creatures, and this is exactly why the whole city is fighting against your kind over in Hightown. I hope you get burned back into perdition. You don't belong here. You're ruining this festival for the rest of us, too. And the Mon Ketis person turns around to the Dragonborn, and underneath the cloak says, "What are you doing? Why do you say these things? That is so rude. These people," and he places his arm around the gigantic, draconic, hellish creature, right up to his horns. He says, "These creatures, these people, are just like you and me. Friend, they have every right to exist in the city, just as much as I have the right to own property, or to participate in government. This is a celebration, a festival. We should all be gathered around enjoying each other's companies and the things that make us to gather together. Please, let us once again come together and sing the song of He Who Rides with the Dawn. Shall we? Come on, everybody, all together now. Talk together about Etram the Mighty." And the Dragonborn just stalks off and sort of scoffs. Says, "I've had enough of this stupid song and this stupid festival. You don't know what you're talking about." The Dragonborn goes off, passing by Thako. Gurak.
Gurak's gonna move up. Wow, that guy was rude, wasn't he? What's going on here?
The creature, the woman, you can see that she has a fine hourglass figure, perhaps even too fine for a mortal human being. The curves are unnaturally tight around the waist, unnaturally large around the breasts and the hips, and off of her skin you can see there is this delicateness to it, fine and soft, and yet a raging blaze of fire across the arms. Her horns glow with this imperious might, almost as though they're a crown of lava unto themselves. These big spikes rise off of her shoulders, just about the only thing, like the horns, that would showcase to you that this is beyond a normal being. Otherwise, she just seems like she could be a tiefling of sorts. And the glowing lava embers of her eyes concentrate onto your forehead, and you hear in your mind a voice say to you, "So, you, a mortal, believe that you are somehow worthy to join the ranks of perdition, do you? I have a lesson of perdition to teach to you, mortal. Which would you prefer? The lesson of imprisonment, the lesson of power, or perhaps the infernal fires that burn within your own core? I could teach you of all of them."
Well, what's the difference? First one, imprison me. The second one, I'm gonna catch fire.
You don't get to know the answers, you only know the question.
Well, for the fun of it, let's go with the second one. I always feel like I have a fire burning in my chest.
Oh no, that's the third one. The second is the power. You want the power, or you want the fire that burns within?
Why not the fire?
Excellent, very well. Now, I need you to sustain and understand the fires of perdition as they burn within you. Hold still. Tell me your name, sweetling.
My name is Gurak Vakgard, and I am the greatest and bestest.
You do write down, it does, the golden light flashes onto the page as once again it writes down Gurak Vagar, the greatest and the bestest. She then holds up a hand, and in your mind you hear her say, "Hold still, sweetling. This will only hurt a lot."
What?
And I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw as a burning sensation burns within your body. Congratulations, with a 19, you feel a brand of fire burn into your body as your true name is given to this devilish creature, and she seems to know you for your merit and worth. But the cleansing infernal fires from within do not burn your soul to its core. She smiles to you and says, "Ah, so we are known to each other, you and I. You may call upon me if you dare need, but I can also call upon you. Would you like to cast these fires onto your enemies, or would you prefer to keep them, guard them close, and keep them to yourself?"
I like to keep them to myself. I'm a sharing kind of guy, but not that kind of guy.
Oh,
I share them with my axe here.
that is quite interesting. That's all you'd like to share your warm internal fires with them? Very well, fine, but I think perhaps later you might change your mind. She does a sort of a snap of her fingers. A bolt of fire races across from her body over to yours, and you recognize that the sigil is complete that's burned into your chest. You realize that in a moment's notice, you can cast the Fire Shield spell on yourself just by focusing on the sigil, and it will burn off of your body. You seem to have passed whatever it is that test was. But she somehow seems disappointed.
I didn't even get your name.
She does not reply, but she does smile.
Well, until we meet again. And he gives her like a head nod and leaves the tent.
Very well. As you're going to leave the tent, what direction would you like to go in? Well, regardless of what happens, Thaco's going to run into you.
I'll go see Thaco. I originally was gonna go see the celestial angel-looking people. I'll go see Thaco. How things
Very
are doing.
well. Thaco, as the Dragonborn walks past you on your way over to Gurak, do you want to interact with them at all?
I will, give them a courtly bow and say, pleased to make your acquaintance. Romani for mayor. I will cast, Prestidigitation, in a flourish and make a card magically drift, directly in front of her field of view and into her hand, as the spell has a range of 10 feet, and it's a harmless effect. Just kind of like, try to convince another voter.
Sure. You want to, just with your swagger alone, just go ahead and give me that performance check.
16.
16's not bad. The Dragonborn looks a little bit impressed. She looks down at the letter and says, "Well, that was a really delightful piece of magic you just performed there, wizard."
Yes, thank you.
Of course. Hey, whatever you do, don't go over to that tent. Okay, you see that one?
Yes, of course. Devils in their contracts, This is always a shenanigan you don't want to see me roped into. It's bad enough here in Masha Town that we have to deal with the contracts of the factory owners and low pay, long hours, terrible wages.
Her eyes seem to glaze over as she doesn't seem to be very politically minded. And when you talk about that, you can tell that like she sets into like, I don't want to be here anymore. Sort of shrinking into herself, her shoulders.
And then I kind of say, interject, and as I see myself losing her interest, and I say, "This is a place for artists and dreamers, not factories." And I pull out a violin, and I begin playing a song based.
When you pick out the violin, you pulling it out of your bags.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity,
I'll kind of
You're
like
back, you're back.
spin,
You're like really.
I'll
you know,
do a
and you're-
I'll do a spin move, okay, to disguise my my situation of a violin being pulled
I'm
out,
with you.
because I'm wearing long robes, so like
Yeah.
I'll give it like a flourish, when my back is turned, I'll have a violin, as it were,
You
hopefully.
do a flourish, and she sort of. You take her right out of the shell. She comes alive a little bit, going, "Oh, well, more magic," and
Okay,
she seems delighted to see the twirl as you pull the violin out of your ass.
I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna look up to the sky and be like, I really pulled that one out of my ass, didn't I? Spirits guide me, and I will cast guidance and then make a performance check and play a song based on the counter charm to try to get some attention, and also on a longer term to try to distract from the song that I kind of hear as I'm walking through,
Yeah.
like that I would recognize. So I'm going to use thaumaturgy as well to amplify the song,
Very nice.
and play the counter charm on a larger level.
Very well. Go for it.
Okay.
Give me the performance check.
Okay, 18 on the dice plus a d4. 4.
Incredible. And how the tables turn as you play the TM for the woman. It is a masterful performance, even though it's very short. And you can see little stars glistening in her eyes as talking about the artist was actually quite something that she was interested in hearing. But more than that, all of the people around the bench suddenly stop what they're doing. They look over from the sound of where that noise had come from, and you can see each of them shocked to see where they're at. Some of them look down or look over at the orc in front of them, and they begin to grow these malignant looks on their face, as though they don't understand why they're here, why they're listening to this guy, but that they immediately want to leave. Obviously not happy with where life is at. A couple of them looking around as though something strange had just occurred. A couple of them trying to make good light of the conversation, talking to one or light of the moment as though everything is normal. And one guy bending down and picking up the gold on the street corner that he has been alerted to.
I give him an approving nod as I notice this happening, like sparkly thumbs up, and continue to play.
The Monketis go over towards the orc. They spit at his feet at the bench, and then they begin to leave the celebration, going towards the seamstress building. While the other one stands there confused, not really knowing what to do, but trying to back away. The orc gets closer to him, and you can see a big smile on the orc's face as he says, wait, hold on. I have more stories to tell. Listen about the hero with the dawn. He's coming with bringing his light and fighting with his might. And he begins to try and go into the song again. Gurak, by now, you probably turn around and walk up into the conversation.
I'll catch sight of Gurak and give him a nod, and then glance over to that whole situation.
Gurak will kind of like come over doing like a jaunty little dance because you're playing music. Try to
Also, your chest is exposed, so when he walks over, Thako, you can see a hellish ruin carved onto his body. And if you can read Infernal, the script is right there.
Look at my new tattoo. Isn't it just wonderful?
It's probably pretty terrible, This is not usually a good thing to accept these kinds of deals. You don't know what these things ask of you, Gurak.
But it's like it's giving me protection. It's like a good luck charm, but it's on my skin.
I kind of glance over his shoulder.
Them is not good for you. You need to wipe that off. Go home and clean yourself up or something. I want no part of that.
I can't wipe this off. It's in my skin.
I mean, just rub coarse rocks on it, you know?
Look, don't worry about it. At Gurak, we have all kinds of magical items that will take good care of this fellow. I give her another business card for Gurak,
Oh,
and
you're in good hands, mister. This guy is amazing. His talent and ability is great. He should be performing in the streets, honestly. Oh, wait a minute. He is performing in the streets. Wow. You're
Well,
really
make sure
good,
to
mister.
Make sure to spread
Thank
the good
you.
news. I'm gonna have to go to Gurak, and maybe I might get some stuff to clean this off.
I'll kind of like start give her a friendly nod, and then motion for
Oh, wait,
Gurak to follow.
wait.
Yes,
Can-
sorry.
can I just was wondering what the sale price for your carottes are. Your confounding carottes.
Yes, of course. For you, I will. Since you have asked personally, I will give you half off.
Okay, that's great. What's half off though?
Well, half off of. I guess I would try to recall the pricing structure of Carotes to answer such a question.
The question, of course, is you don't know, do you?
I mean, I worked for him, so would I be able to make some sort of roll to see if I did know?
You can make a history check.
Okay.
To attempt to recall, but
Another
oh
natural
my
20.
Damn with the natural 20. This is incredible, as a matter of fact. So would you like personal or group success?
Group success.
This is insane. I'm going to give you the entire shopkeep of all the prices in the Discord later for what Carotes was selling. All the magical implements, all the stuff that was there, the prices for all of it. And for this singular moment, we'll say that you can sell a Carote for 30 gold to this woman.
Okay, yes, I will sell you one for, of course, 30 gold. This is a perfectly reasonable price for all your Kurotu needs.
She looks down at her pocketbook or her bag, manually counting all the pieces, and then she looks up and she goes, right. So, but when I get the carote, I can still chop it up into smaller pieces, right? So it's not just all at once. I can use it sparingly. It'll last a little longer.
I'm afraid you have to use it all at once. It's an expensive, use item, but worth it. You have to use the whole thing.
What if I just chopped it in half?
No.
I'll try it at home. And she brings out 28 gold pieces as well as 5 silver, and says, "Will this be enough?"
Look, as long as I can count on your support, 25 will do.
She looks really excited as she places the other pieces back into the bag, and then she hands you 25 gold.
All right, I take it.
Congratulations.
I make a mental note to, leave a note with the shopkeep to sell a carote to her for 25 gold. But it's already paid for.
She places the bag into your outstretched hands, and it falls through your arm down into your actual hand. Ka-chink! Right into your pocket. And she goes, "Wow, you're so full of tricks."
Yes, I am actually astrally projecting my presence here, not even really standing here today in front of you. Can you believe it?
No deception check required. She is already hook, line, and sinker bought into your magic. She begins to walk away feeling like she's just met a celebrity.
I look to Gurak.
Go ahead and pick up the gold.
Gruff, gonna pick up the gold. Well, when no one's around, I'll just give you the whole thing back.
Look, you hear this guy trying to fucking sing this song and tell these people a story over here? He's one of our guys. We need to interrogate him.
Can I do like a history check? Was that song familiar to what we were hearing back in the house?
You sure
Just
can make a history check.
Specifically,
Yes.
the one in my head.
You sure can make a history check.
14, not bad.
When you attempt to think about the song, it becomes all you can think about. And you hear that story, a song of the hero who rides with the dawn, and you begin to sing it out loud, bobbing your head, moving your legs, swaying a little bit.
Oh, fuck you too, seriously?
You go to grab Thaco's hands, and like you just immediately phase through them. You're clearly not up there, and you start dancing.
The hero that rides with the dawn.
I start looking for Kyani, and not seeing her in the immediate presence, I try to play the counter charm.
Very well, you. And when you go to play the counter charm, I actually need you to make a contested flat roll d20 against Gurak's contested flat d20. No modifiers.
Beat that!
Luckily, not a nat one for the purposes of our normal game. And as the song plays out, Gurak, you reflexively slam your hands to your ears, and you hear the voice say,
We do not like it. We don't want it. We want to keep it out.
Yeah, Deco, could you stop that for a second? It's giving me a headache.
Yes, of course. Hold on just a second here. I need to step over here and stand on this bench. And then I...
you walk over the bench, and as you begin standing on, all the people look to you weirdly like, oh god, here we go again.
Yeah, and then like I think about it for a second, and then I do like a little hop as I nervously realize I like stepped up onto this bench on my stilt legs, just quite naturally there. And I was like, whoa, I really played that one off without anybody noticing. And I'm like wondering how to get down the whole time. I take out the counter charm again, and I play it, like giving the guy who has been trying to go and spread the song like a nice smile, in the meantime, like very much like, dude, I know, what are you trying to do?
You play the notes, and I need you to make another flat d20. No modifiers.
Okay, that's slightly better. It is halfway better. 50%. 50%.
You watch as the orcish man clasps his hands to his ears and then dead sprints away from you.
Ooh. I'm gonna start following him. Be like, excuse me, I see a potential voter getting away.
Yeah, you're bucking it down.
Tell me, have you heard of the money?
Yep. And I'm gonna book it after him. Yeah, and see where he's going.
Very well. We will move these people along as they're over there. And while you're booking it away, Gurak, you clearly see Romani dash down the street. What do you want to do?
Gurak's probably gonna sit where he is because the voice in his head didn't like the song, so reflectively I'll probably stay where I am, just like shake my head.
That's actually a really good guess for what you think you're gonna do, but that's not what you're gonna do at all. You sit there and you try not to do anything, and then you feel the movement of your body as the song rises in pitch, and with Romani gone, you go up towards the bench reflexively, and you begin going, Oh, hear the story of he who rides with the dawn. He brings forth his cleansing light from the dark. He brandishes his back with all his might. And you begin to sing to the rest of the crowd.
Great.
Go ahead and do a
Fantastic.
performance check with advantage.
Woo, with advantage.
With advantage.
Hey.
11. Not so good. Not so good. However, only one person, only this guy, or not that one. Sorry, I think it's the second one. Only the woman, yes, the second one. Only the woman does not chime in with you. Everyone else begins cheering in and singing the song once again. And swinging their hands and their bodies. We go to Kyani. Kyani, your team is swiftly running away from you. And singing songs. Without you. How rude. What would you like to do?
Kyani walks over to this cat and, like, as she's kind of getting close to it, she says, I'm glad nobody has said anything about the code words, which means everyone is probably fine, having good time at festival, forgetting all the bad that happened in that spooky house.
You say that, and the elf turns to you. You said you say that, right? You say that?
She says spooky house under her breath.
Okay. The elf turns to you and says, What do you mean? I heard this is about woods. I think this is woods that we're here for. I don't think this is about a house.
Oh, you know what? I might be confused about other tents. This is about wood.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard
That's
that there's a creature let loose somewhere here around the forest park. And anyone who brings the creature in gets a reward. So, pretty good scout out into the wastes of Lozamine. I think I'm gonna bring it in before anybody else. I'm just here to stamp my name first. But I tell you what, I'll let you in on the cut. If you help me corral the mean beastie, I'll give you half the reward.
Have you ever spent day outside in roads? Be honest.
Yeah, of course I have. Look at me, I'm prepared. And he gestures down to his workman's leggings. He's got some craftsman's boots on. Looks as though they would be good for traveling, but probably not as good for an adventurer. They've got some wear and tear on them. You can tell the wear and tear has a little bit of that gray that you would expect from city stone as you rub up against it a little bit too many times. And he's got a little bit of dust and debris that's over top of his dark clothing. It was once darker black, but now it's sort of more like a slate gray in coloration. You can tell that he probably works in like one of the local stone smitheries or the stone masonry district. But that's not clothing used for going out and chasing down creatures in the woods.
Kyani looks at him and then looks down at her own clothes, which clearly indicate that she's traveled outside in the woods.
Yes.
And then kind of like glares at him and is like, you want my help to catch me? You cannot do it. Be honest.
No, I can do it. I can do anything I set my mind to. What I'm really more wondering is if I'm going to be splitting the rewards and maybe a pint at the local tavern with somebody else today. I thought you looked like someone who might like to share a pint.
I think you thought I looked like somebody who's actually been in woods, which is true. I have hunting bow, I have sword. These are all true. I have hunted outside in actual woods. You look like you play around with rocks all day.
Yes, well, that is a pastime of mine, but it would be good to have a professional with me, someone else that I could rely on in these tense moments in the brush.
What is your name?
You can call me Skeevo.
How tall is Skeevo?
Come again.
How tall is Skeevo?
You can tell. Okay, so you can tell that his boots are like an inch thick, that raise his height. But that even with
Oh,
those
man.
on, he's just 5'9".
Literally her height.
Yeah.
Insert political joke.
Kyani's gonna look down at his definitely stilt boots, and then look him directly in the eye and be like, right, well, if I'm really worried about it, I'll be sure to reach out because I don't want to be concerned about, getting lost out there in the dangerous city where there's no trees. And she's going to start moving off to actually hear what's happening at this. Maybe someone who looks like he's actually down.
Okay. Where are you going to again? I missed that part.
I'm just going to see the other people at this tent.
Sure. At the present moment, they have just gotten a little like scroll, and they are beginning to move off towards the side. So it's free reign for anyone else to step up there. And as they move away, the halfling and the robed figure, you can see they have plate armor underneath their robes. They're wielding a long sword, and they seem to have quite literally a skull mask the way they look in Tailspire underneath their hood, like shouting to the world, "Hi, I belong in a cult." But you can see like a judge symbol on their lapel as well. That tells you that this person is an executor of somebody's will, an executor of a noble house. So like this person has some power and some influence behind their actions. What they're here to do, you don't know. You don't know which house they belong to. That's kind of the point. But they definitely are like a free agent. Contracted to work for a noble house. Anyway, you want to stop them? You want to just like grab onto their arms? You want to talk to them? Or are you just going to go right up to the tent?
She's going to just turn to them, specifically the rogue figure, and be like, "Oh, you look very outfitted for this. This is good. Good competition to have."
Duh.
You look for some big shot in the city, or
Come again. Did not hear.
you can work for a big shot in city?
Duh. He points to the lapel. That I do. You are looking for something, perhaps? You want something from me or from my employer?
It depends. What is your employer good at?
Many things. There is much in the city that is within grasp, within reach. But what do you have to ask for such a thing?
Inquire
You
me
approach
about
me on the street and you wonder about offerings and gifts and about my employment, but I do not even know your name.
Yes. My name is something that is not my actual name, probably.
When you say that, he nods to you and says, "Good day." And he turns around. Speechcraft
Okay.
failed.
And Kyani's like, "I nailed that." It's like my negative charisma, guys.
Kyani, what are you doing? Where are you going? I will also say that, in fairness, you probably have noticed the song and dance and stuff that's going on in the middle, as well as your ally bolting off down the street. Now, that
If
doesn't
she
mean
noticed,
you have to go there. It just means that you're aware this is happening.
I feel like she would have a little more agency, but also really want to see what the whole thing's about with the pet.
Yeah.
So she's
She's gonna like kind of glance back and be like, "Okay, real quick, what's happening here? What is being?"
You walk up and the bear just says a little and goes, "Well, you have come to the right tent. This is the most lovely and happy tent in all the festival of Masatown. Would you like some tea? Perhaps a sandwich?"
Normally, I would be very invited to tea and sandwich. However, I fear that there may be something going on with friends of mine being some. So I'm going to have to skip pleasantries and get on to what this tent is about. Also, you seem very nice.
But I made them especially tiny. And you see his little bear claws lift up a very tiny little sandwich. Perfect little, you see it's wrapped in string along the edges as well. There's a little stick that goes through it so you can easily untie the wrappings if you so desired. It's got like little laces of honey along the edge and this bark-like thing in the middle, which you know to... Go ahead. Oh, you weren't gonna say, you just and it looks to be like this bark-like thing, almost reminiscent of chocolate. He holds the little sandwich out, all of it between these bread-like leaf things, almost like the lummus bread from Lord of the Rings. And if you haven't seen Lord of the Rings, go home! Get out of here! You can't play D&D without seeing Lord of the Rings. It's a rule.
Oh no!
Actually, you know.
Kyani sees a little bear
Language and all agency leaves her brain, and she goes, "Well, you know, I am kind of peckish with a lot has happened in the past couple of hours, so maybe like a little snack would help with the brain food for me. So, you know, I will indulge a little bit."
That's great! I love to hand little sandwiches. And he, like, delicately, daintily, his big, gigantic body, he goes, trying not to get it wrong, as he places the little musher or the sandwich into your hand. He sniffs at the air.
Jimmy.
You can see he goes, all is right in the festival. So, how do you have any good stories?
Good stories of today or good stories in general?
Oh, well, I don't see why they have to be today. They could have been yesterday.
One time when I was little girl living in woods, I found out how to climb trees. It was very cool because other kids had not learned it yet. So I was able to get up high away from them when they threw rocks at me.
Oh, the other children would throw rocks? How dare they?
It's
So
a game in the
rude.
cold. It gets boring out there.
But you pass the time by throwing rocks at each other?
Yes.
Oh, that's not very nice. I need to eat other people to survive, and even I know that that's kind of rude. I can't look at Dingo's face.
I made the mistake.
Well, did you throw the rocks back, little cub? Was that what you were taught to do?
If somebody hits me with a rock, usually I would throw back. Although I prefer using the snow.
Well, learning to climb the tree in your story was a very good deal. I tell you what, I'll let you on a secret, but first you have to tell me your name.
My name is Kyani, but don't tell weird people with rules. Yeah.
The golden light flashes on the book as it writes, "My name's Kyani, but don't tell all the weird people back there," singing the song. The big bear then twinkles his little claw, or his big claws for a moment. You see him go again, and then he says, "The animal you're looking for to bring back inside is just up a tree like you were. Good story to tell. But not because of rocks, but because people are looking on the ground."
Thank you, kind friend. What is your name?
It is big, white, furry creature you're looking for. Similar to me, but different in name. I am called Jemison. And I now update the mini. Because you now know Jemison.
Oh. Okay. White furry creature. And then Kyani is going to do a little head on to the bear, and I'm sure she has like wood carvings in her pocket. And give him a little wood carving.
All right, you give him a little wood carving, and he picks it up into his little tiny, or his big claws, and when he picks it up, he just takes it to his mouth and does like a little nibble. But his fangs are so big, his big, massive bear teeth with his big crushing power, he splits and cracks the wood. And he as he pulls it back, and he goes, "Oh." And he seems a little bit sad, but he puts it on the table and like taps it twice.
I'll bring you another one later. I make them all the time.
All right, where are you going as you're leaving?
I'm going to try and look for the tallest tree around here. So yeah, if I have fully been distracted by this mission.
All right, by all means, you can go ahead and give me a perception check. Meanwhile, we're gonna go right on back to wait, where'd he go? Where's Thaco? Thaco, where have you gone?
Right there.
Oh, I get it. I can't see you because you're hiding inside of a carriage. By the way, you can't see it, but there's this carriage right in your face.
Oh, oops. I'm sorry. That was just my, yeah, okay.
Nah, it's cool.
It's
You didn't
invisible.
know. How
Yeah.
would you know? Thaco, you go dashing off after this other person who is trying to sprint away down the street.
And then I kind of like come to a stumble step and like turn to see these, these workers who are, they're Monketis, right? They wouldn't be under the sway of an orc. And I look
That's
back
right.
and I see my friend standing on a bench singing this infectious song after watching some sort of purple mist go into his lungs. I saw that happening, right? That was like a visible effect of this thing going, right?
It actually wasn't.
Okay. Well, thank you. That's why I'm asking.
Yep.
But either way, I realize at this point that something is very, very wrong here. And I look around and I see Kyani going off into the woods.
Adventure awaits.
And
I knew you would love the Petaware tent. I knew that you would.
I slowly will make my way back to the Hyrus tent, and kind of, approach the Guardian.
At this juncture, Karik is back on the side of the tent. The pocket Pegasus is back down where it belongs. The other Ketis are following her, and you likely meet up at the Hyrus tent.
I'm gonna look to her and just like catch like I'm a robot, but I'm gonna try to give her a serious look as the person that I am pretending to be.
Yes.
Like, oh, holy shit! I'm so glad. I guess I'll just say it since she's right here. Oh, holy shit! I am so glad that you are here. Something is very wrong. Do you hear this song in the air right now?
Yes.
yes, I do hear the song. Isn't it lovely and enchanting? You can,
Yes,
you can see she rolls her eyes
that's
as she says
exactly
that.
the problem. It is enchanting. Look at my friend over there, making ass of himself more than usual on the bench. Look at my other friend, wander into woods. Look, these people, Monket is listening to an orc on top of a stump. This is not right. Something very wrong is happening here. I believe.
Okay, and you are a purveyor of magic, so you are the expert. What would you recommend?
Yes,
I
well,
can't say that I like our kind
we have
gathering
to.
together any more than you do.
I'm just trying to stop a problem, okay? And look, I think if you and I are working together on this, we can share equal credit and not make this a political thing. It's just both of us a good thing because we are trying to solve a problem together. Yes. So
Make me a persuasion check at disadvantage.
okay.
As does, and you can see when you speak and you're like, we can work together. You can see the Mon Kedis financiers like lean in and like start whispering into her ear, like,
A 9.
oh my god, it was an 18 at first and then a 4.
Yeah.
Anyway, you may continue talking, but you don't think she's buying the Kool-Aid. She like nods to her advisors. Or her
That's
financiers.
fine, whatever. And then I'm going to turn to the Hyrus representative and be like, we have a serious problem.
Wait. I will hear you out. I don't know if we will work together, but what is it? Remind
Look,
me.
people here are being put under an enchantment, and I'm gonna like look to the Hyrus representative too, as like I'm trying to speak to all the people present. This song in the air is putting them under an enchantment to spread it and bid yourself to its will. If you walk yourself close, it will bend your way to the will. If you go over here, and he kind of like points in this direction, and you listen to him, he is going to put you under some sort of charm. If you hear this song in the air, it is dangerous to people. Look, my representatives, they have contacted me. There are people that are dead down the street. Do you not see the soldiers? He kind of like glances in the direction of the main street area, like I, I don't know exactly what is happening here, but I know that a little tune that I have learned can put a stop to all this. You know, um, look, this I give you for free. I am not too worried about charging anyone. I just don't want everyone brainwashed and sacrificing themselves to some sort of giant snail that is like waiting for us in a back alley somewhere. Something's going on.
You gush saying this whole line, and Kari can hear going, and just laughing out loud at the thought of a mere song doing all of this. But the Hyrus representative, straight and stiff as always, says, it is illegal for planar entities to mess with the mortal realm unless summoned. Is this a planar
He just kind
effect?
of like he kind of looks to his pocket and considers as to whether or not enforcing some external order upon these people instead of letting them work their way through their own problems would be advisable. And he considers again. He looks to the representative Kari and just kind of like shrugs. It says, if you don't want to help me, this is fine, but if I find you walking down the street in some sort of daze, following a piper, I will still pull you out of it, okay? Look, just be careful. And I kind of like walk off to the Elysium tent.
You, as you leave, you can hear Karik say, "Wow, I think the pressure of this competition is really getting to him. This is gonna be an easy victory." Meanwhile, you go to the Elysium tent where the halfling just signs over his name, puts his finger up and pokes the golden mark of the spear, and the pocket Pegasus immediately lifts off, streaking out of the tent as the halfling is thrown immediately to the ground. He doesn't even hang on in the beginning.
Naomi!
She will cease her flying, return back to her pocket Pegasus form, and goes and greets you with like tipping her horn down to the side of the wood.
I'm going to switch over to Sylvan. Something is very wrong here. There are people being put under a charm. Something in this song. Listen, I have learned a counter charm to this. Something from the back shelves of my store. I'll do a spin move, of course, and pull out the little crab flute whistle thing and play it. I don't know what you can do to help, but we're all in danger here. As long as this song is spreading, we need to play this counter charm as much as we can to people.
When you play the counter charm and you say all of this, Naomi, she actually like through her horn matches the sound of the thing, the flute. She does it back to you.
I give her a
Yes.
nod.
Okay, I'm with you, but I do have a very important job to do. I am to
Yes.
test all the willing participants.
Of course. Can you just play this song for anyone who will ride on you and be tested?
Oh, yes, of course I could do that.
Okay, look, every little bit helps, okay? So that will be doing a lot to help people out. Thank you. I give her a deep bow, respectfully, sort of like, show ponies do, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Crossing my front feet in front of each other,
That's you can't see my feet, but it looks strange.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, you do the bow, like the show ponies do. The halfling begins to get off of his body and seems to go over towards the rest of the woods, or not the woods, but the rest of the park. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do?
I am going to start approaching the guards if I see them. I mean, the death by snoo ladies.
Yeah, very well. You go over to them as they're making their way up onto the marble steps of the courthouse. They'll be about up here when you get to them. But for a moment, before we get to those people, we need to go back to Gurak. Gurak, you're having a lovely time on top of the bench, singing your song with all of your friends around you who are delightful, who adore you, who are just captivated and entranced by everything you have to say. What is it you'd like to do as the song finishes?
I'm going to try and see if I can stop and step down from the bench. See if
You
I have
do.
that force of will.
You do. You step down.
I take a bow to everyone. Thank you. That was my rendition of Hero Who Rides into the Dawn.
You give it. They clap. And one of them says, "Almost as good as the orc."
And he's gonna take that and he's gonna go to a new tent.
Which tent would you like to go to?
Now I'm going to that celestial one over yonder.
Ah, very well. You make your way across over to that tent, and when you arrive, you can see the sentient chickens. The sentient chickens are speaking to one another in rapid fashion. One of them saying, "Well, I don't know if I want to serve them. Well, I don't want to serve them either. Well, we do want the reward. I don't really know if I want the reward. I'm just here to get a little bit of grain." God, I mean, we came all the way from Paraware, and all you can think about is getting grain. But yeah, we don't have any grain back in Paraware. Obviously, I'm here to try to get some grain. Jeez, we don't make it at home. Yeah, okay, we don't make it home, but we have worms. We have all the worms we could possibly eat. And get this, we don't even need to eat back in Paraware. We don't need to be here. And all this eating and stuff, it's pointless. We don't need any of it. Yeah, but totally, if we eat it, we get to enjoy the stuff that we used to have when we were mortal. We're not mortal anymore, and this is the last thing that we can have. I mean, what are we going to do? Make some steak burgers out on the grill? I don't know if you have noticed, but I don't got any hands. The other goes, yeah, of course, you don't have any hands, but it's fine. It's totally fine. But the worms taste fine. They're also fine. We can just go back to Paraware and eat those. Oh, yeah, well, you think that the portal's going to open anytime soon? I don't really think so. We're stuck inside of the city. We got to make best of what we do. And guess what? They eat chicken here. They eat chicken. So we're going to participate inside of this little journey. We're going to become heroes, and then we're going to get respected. And the person says back, yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, if you vote for Romani, you can get corn, stuff like that.
Make me a
Very
persuasion
nice.
check or a deception check.
I gotta do this for Romani.
The chickens immediately turn around. You're speaking their language.
I got a 0 in both, so I'll just go with the performance. 14.
The chickens, the sentient chickens move over to you. They peck at your boots, a few sharp, quick taps. And then one of them says to you, "What do you mean you're going to feed us if we vote for Romani? All we have to do is vote? How long are you going to feed us? You're going to feed us for a long time? Or you're going to feed us for just a short period of time? Or do you mean just one day? Because one day is really not enough, man." The other guy goes, "Yeah, man, that's really not enough. I mean, totally, we need to see a little bit more food than that. Something that's, maybe, I don't know, lifetime supply, something like that. Because we're swearing our allegiance to you, as a matter of fact. And we don't even live here, so I don't even know if we can really vote. But maybe we totally can vote. But then again, we are living and we are here. So that does mean that we are living here, doesn't it?" The other person says, "Obviously it means we're living here. We're right here in the flesh, right? We're flock. You can see our feathers. We just dropped them onto the ground. Clearly we're living here. So that means we're denizens. That means we get to vote. And also it means we have housing. And our housing right now is on the top of a building, which I don't know about you, but that sounds to me like a housing inside of the district. So duh, citizens." The other person turns back and says, "Yeah, okay."
Well, the best part is you don't even have to be a citizen here. All you have to do is vote for Romani. Romani's right over there somewhere. You just have to go talk to him and set up your terms of quad.
You point to Romani when you say this?
Yeah, I point in general direction where Romani is.
That's what you think you say. But what you actually say is,
All you have to do is sing with me this song and carry it throughout the streets. Sing it from the tops of the roofs where your beds are at. And then, together with this song being sung, we will feast upon all the grain the city has to offer. And also vote for Romani.
Amazing.
you go ahead and make me a persuasion check. Another one.
I mean, at least he has voter rights.
15.
With a 15, the chickens seem enthused, and they listen to you sing the song of He Who Comes with the Dawn. Isn't it lovely? Isn't it great?
Oh my god. This is both amazing and at the same time I want to abolish his voice from my head.
The chickens begin to hop off in the direction of Romani to curry their favor. What else would you like to do?
I'm going to the tent. I'll listen into what this individual's doing, if I can hear any talking.
Very well. When you go up to the tent and attempt to engage with it, the holy hero, or you can see the person just sort of takes their divine sword, places it across their shoulders, lifts it back up, and says, "Unfortunately, you are not worthy for my test. Begone!" And the person grumbles and whines. They stamp their foot and they say, "No, I'm a willing participant of this festival just as much as everybody else here. I deserve to take the test." And the holy hero says, "You would not survive the test." If you will it, I will place it upon you. But you must sign away your rights to any sort of damages that you may curtail. That is for me to dispense, and for you to be okay with it. And the person says, "No, I'm not going to be damaged by you. You just want to kill me for not being exactly as you please. You heroes are all the same." And you can see he walks away from the tent.
I take his place. No fear.
You walk up to the holy hero, and your DM takes a drink.
And Gurak asked the DM, was your drink good? Was it nice, cold, and refreshing?
I see what you did there. It's all right. We're getting to the dregs of the bottle, so I could use a little bit more, and it could be a little colder. But you actually want like warm honey for your voice, and so, yeah. And when you're talking and doing a lot, whoo, especially like I've been doing this since for what, like how many hours has it been? Like 6 hours. A lot's going on. But anyway, it could have been better, basically is what I'm trying to say. When you walk up to the holy hero, they say, "So, do you wish to take the test?"
Sure, why not? I'm always down for a challenge.
"Step right up. Declare thyself. I will have you known. What kind of a person are you?"
My name is Gurak Vakar, and I'm the greatest and the bestest.
The light shines onto the book, indeed. And when it does that, the light actually shines over yourself as well. And after it shines over your body, the holy hero says, "I can tell that you are pure of heart and soul. You can indeed take this test if you wish. But be warned, this test is more difficult than the rest. Are you certain that you are up for a fight?"
He leans onto the counter. Of course I am. I'm always up to the fight. Please.
Very well then. What I would ask of you is that one participant at this festival is an evil soul, a person who wishes to harm the rest. I can sense them through my righteous auras. You must find this person, who they might be, bring them here, and we will destroy them from this city. That is your test. A test not only of your mettle, but also of your heart.
Alright, just around here, right? They're not down the street. Totally not cloaked and like going through windows and hopping roofs.
What do you mean?
Oh, I
Is
saw.
there an evil person down the street?
I mean, there was. There was a house, there was a bunch of murders, and they left through a window. Now there's voices in my head. It's weird. It's been a rough day.
Wait, there is a voice yet in your head?
Yeah, it
Are you
seems-
not well?
I feel well.
Hold thyself still. The holy hero holds out his hand. This radiant light bathes around him in this huge 60-foot circle. And he recoils his hand and says, "Oh, by the gods and all that is holy, you harbor within yourself evil."
Hey, did that fulfill the conditions? Can you destroy it? I brought you evil?
Do you wish to be vanquished?
Oh, not me.
The evil within you must be vanquished.
Gurak is worried.
If you should desire, I will smite it from you.
But will I be safe?
No, you will be destroyed, but I will bring you back.
I don't know if I like that. I don't think it's a good idea to die and then come back. It goes kind of against my whole living, you know?
Oh, Gurak, famous Mr. Vakgar, you stand now on the precipice of heroism and glory. And on the other side is malice and evil. The fiery damnations that would seek to destroy the world. And you have this chance to become a hero, known throughout the stories as one who would vanquish evil. Will you take this journey with me onto the other side, into the area of non-life, where you will, for a brief moment, become an immortal soul? You will be resurrected on the plains of Hyros, Perdition, Heldenstadt, Paraware, wherever it is that your soul is destined to go. But I will bring you back. You will not stay there for long. And thus, through your own destruction, we will vanquish this evil. But if you do not answer the call, on the edge of this precipice you will be cast into the fires of malice and damnation, henceforth mentioned before. Do not turn from the light when it calls upon thee.
Well,
Take forth your noble deed, ascend into that next immortal shore, and die valiantly.
he'll lean on the counter. You know what? I'm feeling brazen. Hit me.
As you try to say that, the voice within seeks to silence you. Do you want to fight against it?
I'm gonna fight hard. In fact, I'm gonna smack my forehead off that table.
You smash your head into the table. Go ahead and make me a charisma or a wisdom saving throw. Your choice, whichever one you want. I will say you get a +2 from smashing your skull against the thing.
12 plus 2, 14.
All right. With a 12 plus 2, 14, the voice within says,
I will not play that game. I know that you are just going to try to destroy me, for I was told by the mighty hero who rides with the dawn. He brings the true vanquishing light. He smites out the darkness with all of his might.
and you begin to sing to the holy hero itself.
Ah, fuck.
I need you to make me a flat D20 roll.
I hope it's terrible. 12.
The holy hero itself, its wings dim. The golden light falls from inside of the tent. You watch as the fire inside of its helm extinguishes for a moment, and it does murmur, "The hero that rides with the dawn, of course, he vanquishes the night with all of its light."
Oh my god.
And even the holy hero can fall from grace to your song.
This is bad.
He seems to look to the left and to the right for a moment, doing a quick body stutter. And then he looks up and says, "Oh, champion, what has just happened recently? Are you here to take part in this test?"
Well, my name's in the book already.
"Oh, you have succeeded. Wonderful then. Enjoy the rest of your day, fine noble compatriot."
Gurak's gonna walk away real slowly, very unsatisfied.
"May the trumpets of glory sound wherever you walk."
God, I hope not. I might start singing.
Gurak, where would you like to go?
I'm noticing this happen when this voice comes out and starts singing, right?
Definitely. You know all, yeah, you're aware of all of this.
Gurak is gonna take a very inwards vow of silence and just and go to the middle of the square and just hang there for people I recognize and just not gonna say anything.
Very well. We go to Kyani then. Kyani, your perception check very long time ago. 12?
Yep.
All right. As you look around for the tallest, most noblest of trees inside of this area, you do recognize that it is over here. Oh, let me do this. Let me just point you here. You do recognize that the tallest one is over there, to the westernmost side of the little gardens. But all of the trees in this area seem to be pretty darn tall. They're all fairly similar. And I will say this as well. The mini that you're looking for is not disguised. It is somewhere on the map. So if you look with your eyes, you may find it.
I could have been looking this whole time.
That's correct. There is a hide and seek inside of the game, hidden somewhere for you to find. Now, naturally, you do have to have line of sight of the mini in order to find it. So that is a potential hamper. You know what the fun thing about recording this is that I just zoomed in on where the mini's at for the camera, so everyone watching knows where it is.
I wasn't watching.
Okay. Kyani's gonna make a beeline for that tree then.
As you're making a beeline for that tree, you run smack into Thaco. Well, you don't run into him literally because that would be awkward. But he's on his way up to the courthouse just as you're walking towards the tree.
Kyani!
Gurak, and I know that time it moves kind of weirdly, but if you'd like to be involved in this, you can be too, for the sake of, you know, party cohesion. You don't have to be.
Probably walk over, but very silently.
He looks to Gurak. What's going on with you? You were singing this song and what have you. What's happening here?
He just points to his head.
I don't know what that means.
It's a fluke situation, not yes or no.
He'll just say flute.
Actually, he'll say,
I'm fine.
Fine.
Oh, okay.
would you like
so,
to fight it?
I want to try to.
Make me, go make me a wisdom or charisma saving throw.
I'm fine.
You know what's funny? As you attempt to fight back against the creature, you realize its power seems to be weakening. The more that the time goes on, the more that it controls your body, it seems to become easier for you to resist. And yet, it's just still got a grasp, a hold on your mind, because I picked a good player to possess.
Yeah.
Oh, you're fine. Are
Well,
you?
this is right.
Look,
He's gonna shake his head. I'm fine.
I think something is wrong
Nice.
with
Well
our
done.
friend.
You get +1 inspiration. I said nothing about it controlling your body movements.
I said not. I think something is wrong with our friend. Is that correct? You don't have to say anything at all, Gurak. Just let me know in your own way if this is true. Something is wrong. Yes.
Yes, actually, I think something is wrong.
Actually, you say that everything is just fine, and you're just enjoying the festival. You've never seen everyone come together like this before, so you know.
Well, nod
just try
your
to get
head
out and enjoy the
yes.
music.
Nod your head yes. Shake your head for no. Is something wrong with you?
It is probably not true.
Come again?
It's probably not true.
I love that I got closer to you as though you were like whispering to me. Meanwhile, like
Yeah.
the headset doesn't change. But anyway.
Gurak's gonna point Kyani to her like inventory to like open it up.
doing something in my pocket. You're not the one who stabbed me, right? Like, this isn't you always stab me. Ah, everyone's bad guy. Okay. And I'm gonna put her back in the pocket.
I didn't
I
catch
think you
any
went.
of that.
Yeah, you gone a little robotic. You might be losing your internet, perhaps, or your data is being limited, or maybe I don't know something else. But we did not understand what you had said.
Better?
For now, who knows?
She is going to pull out her bag and present it to Gurak.
Gurak's gonna reach in and just like point at a flute. The one you stole, just.
I'm gonna play the counter charm.
You go to play the counter charm, and as soon as you go to play the counter charm, Gurak lifts up his hands once again, and shelters his ears.
I'm gonna fight that.
Go ahead. Maybe wisdom or charisma saving throw.
I'll even like belly flop on the ground if I have to, or smack my head off that post. 13.
13 is not enough. The creature blocks out its ears once more.
Yes, we have a problem here.
He knows.
I think not only is Gurak going to block out his ears, but Gurak is going to sprint away.
Help!
He's going to sprint upwards.
Okay, I'll move after him. Fuck! Wait, I'll move up to the base of the stairs.
You caught yourself. You caught yourself. It was good for you.
And I will cast Misty Step to put myself at the top of the stairs and try to intercept Gurak.
Oh,
along the
actually,
way.
that would work. That would work. You would get there faster than him. So you're sprinting up the stairs right as you misty step, disappearing, reappearing in a silvery mist. And as you appear right in front of him, Gurak ain't waiting for it, and he immediately is gonna smash into you. I need contesting athletics checks,
Oh boy.
or you can do dexterity if you want to avoid him.
Yep.
Why did I roll good? I'm sorry.
Oh, is that a nat 20?
That's soft 20. Soft
Okay,
20.
soft. Got you. That would have been nuts. All right. As you try to dodge out of the way, he just slams on into you, and as he slams into you, you can feel the disguise wear thin as the impacting meets. A bunch of people turn around as this huge collapse at the steps occurs, and the Gurak like stares at you face to face, and you know what he says?
Next time I'll game. Next time in GG.
Oh, tune in next time on D&D, and that is where we will leave off this time, my friends. Thanks for tuning in again for the episode 2 of Songs Run Long. Great job, guys. Thanks for dealing with the possession. You're being a wonderfully good sport, a good player about that. Thanks for all the whimsy that we got, all the role playing out of this session. And next time, I think we've got combat spinning up for everybody else. So enjoy the rest of your nights.